Yeah, click show on stream and remember, hey, look at that.
Yeah.
Just had a moment.
I still can't figure out this whole dark lighting thing.
I don't know. Some of it might be the TV, though. The TV is weirdly dark right now.
I guess so, but nothing else is.
Yeah.
But anyway, all right.
Well, right now the center's dark, but the bottom of the ring has dipped below the TV. So, I don't know.
Interesting.
That's whatever.
I may fix it. No, I don't think it has. The camera's not moved any.
No.
Anyway, all right.
Continue.
Patreon and Buy Me a Coffee. Yeah, we're on there. CQ, the Pop Culture Warrior, friends of the show. Him and then Troy and Trevor with Two Brothers Podcast, the Trevor Jackson Podcast, and them Jackson Boys. They'll all be back in the new year. Happened in the 90s. We heard from Steve in the last episode. Great guys. And then Dumbass Dudes Podcast, fresh off of fucking Steven in the Mouth on Instagram.
Yep.
And then This American Laugh with at the Andy Harris on Twitter. And then we have the merch on the website at b3fpodcasts.com. You can also just straight up shit on us. Yeah. And it's completely anonymous.
I keep forgetting. I really want to push the tell us what you really think, because I don't know. I don't think people think it's actually anonymous.
It is, unless you're dumb and give it away in there. Right.
Because it doesn't ask for any information from you whatsoever. You just put in the shit. And then, hit send, and we get it directly. And then, we can read it. We can read it on the air. So,
what are we drinking
tonight?
Now,
right. Jameson Stout Edition, whiskey finished in craft beer barrels.
It's not bad.
It's not.
It ain't not as good as regular Jameson, which isn't as good as other Irish whiskeys.
So we had an interview with the show a couple days ago, and I got that for this, and we haven't had an episode yet. So, and I was not about to drink any more fucking tequila.
Blue agave tequila.
So, cheers. Here's to 2 episodes.
Yeah, cheers. Same as it did the other night.
So, did you ever think when we started this shit, we'd be like episode 123?
124.
124? I don't fucking know. But in the 120s?
Yeah.
You thought it would
I thought eventually we would. I thought that I would go this long.
Yeah. So what did you had to have had some kind of backup plan? Like if I just quit, you would have kept going, obviously.
I will. Yeah, I don't have a backup plan. I don't, but I also don't completely believe in backup plans. Okay. I think when you have a backup plan, you oftentimes use the backup plan.
Okay.
Because it's just easy.
Yeah.
But no, I will do this until I can't do it.
Really?
I enjoy it.
Okay.
It's cathartic. It actually gets some of my bullshit out, and then I don't beat my family. No, it is. It's cathartic. Legitimately.
So if I legit
cathartic's not the right word.
I legit quit, right? Just straight up quit. Mm-hmm. Would you change names? Would you get another host? Would you rebrand? Like what would you do? What would your plan be?
I think I would.
Creators create. Goddamn right, Trevor.
Yeah. Hey, Trevor. I would figure out as far as a host goes. I don't know that. Okay. I would get another host.
Okay.
I just don't think I have it in me to sit here and talk to no one.
Trevor said he's the new host.
Well, that's if you're not taking a break. I mean, you did admit that you aren't shit. So
I love Trevor.
I do too.
So I mean, so you wouldn't trim down to like little 20-minute bite-sized solo episodes where you just like read off an outline and spoke I would absolutely not read off an outline. I would not read off anything. I guarantee
I would be more prepared than we are.
I used to say, I guarantee goddamn to you, if I wasn't on here, this would be so much better structured.
Maybe. So, but I think what I would do is I would keep the name at first, and I would take suggestions on what to change the name to.
Okay.
I would keep the same RSS feed and everything, and then just change the name of the show, which would change what everybody sees whenever they get it. But yeah.
All right.
Yeah, but I would absolutely continue doing it.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy it that much. If we did this and that never had a single number up there.
Yeah.
If our downloads never increased, I enjoy doing it.
Okay.
And I would continue doing it until it hindered me from something else that I needed to do or wanted to do more.
Right. Okay.
So
Yeah.
But if I did ever quit doing this, then I would absolutely go, okay, let's do a 90s pop rock cover band.
Okay.
That would replace the podcast.
So I'm going to quit and just take all my shit and go home.
It's fine. I had shit to do this before you bought this stuff.
This is true.
That's
but it wasn't this pretty.
Yeah. Who cares?
I only bought all this shit because of this, though. So that should show you somewhat of my investment.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about you leaving.
Yeah.
I'm not worried. Worried's not the right word anyway. I'm not I don't doubt that there will be time periods where you have to take a couple of weeks to go do whatever, family stuff.
Yeah.
Or, jail or something.
Join the military.
Yeah, that too. No, I don't doubt that will not. I don't think that that's a one-time thing that you need a couple of weeks to take care of things, which is fine. Yeah. I get it. You got young kids and family that you love dearly and want to go help.
Right.
So
my whole thing is like, as far as growth goes, I would just love to be at the fact where we had an off-site place, like a proper studio setup. That's for me. If we get to that point, I'm happy.
Yeah, I would like that as well. Yeah. But I would continue doing it without that.
Yeah, I'm just saying it would be fucking fantastic.
It would be.
It would open up some horizons as well, I think.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Anyway, what? Without making a joke about it, what did you think when we started doing this?
You know me, I don't plan that much. Like,
no, I understand plans, but what did you think? Did you think, a couple months and we'll be done?
No, it was more of we'll see. That was
kind of like your wedding vows. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I was like, okay, it sounds fun. We can do a podcast. We bullshit a lot, but yeah.
How do y'all feel about consistently? I personally feel what?
That you get what you
you get it when you get it. No, I think consistency is one of the big things about podcasting, Trevor. That I disagree with you on that. If people don't know when they can find you, then they quit looking for it.
I also think it depends on what you're doing in your
goal. But consistency could be one a month. Right. That could be consistent.
True.
That could be your release schedule. But when you put the expectation out there,
see, I think I would agree. I think consistency is important. I think that throwing out like surprise bonus episodes is a fantastic idea if you have a following, but at least knowing that every blah 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 you're gonna have if you're a fan of something,
right? But I also don't have a problem with. I mean, some of the podcasts that I listen to take a break a week, 2 weeks at Christmas time, and they release best of episodes. Right. I'm fine with that too.
Yeah. If I had a fucking bitch intern that would edit all this shit, then
that's the problem. Sure. It takes a lot of work to put together best of episodes.
Which I'm excited about our awards this year.
Are you?
Yeah, because I already know who our worst guest of the year is going to be, and I'm so excited just to shit all over it.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
I'm not sure who that is.
I'm holding back though until that point in time.
I'm trying to think.
Consistency. Here it is.
Here it is.
I think that's good if you're creating in the moment, but if you're trying to build a brand, consistency is important.
Yeah, that's it.
I think creative for creativity's sake, absolutely. Fuck consistency on it. You build when you're creative. You make when you're creative.
If you're a huge, like if you're Dave Chappelle, consistency is not as important because as soon as you release a special or whatever, everybody's going to go, "Oh fuck, here it is." Yeah. Right.
Well, I'm talking about like as a creator. And again, I'm not talking about from marketing from a business standpoint. As a creator, fuck consistency. I can't handle it. I can't stand it. Whatever. But I think
it's still important though.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Not as a creative.
As you're taking off and starting out, it is important.
No, you're talking about building a brand and building a business. I'm talking about
building a following.
I'm talking about being a creative. I'm not talking about any type of commercial anything.
What's the point if you're not trying to build something?
To fucking create.
Okay.
Create for creation's sake is to me the most pure fucking thing ever.
Okay.
Like, granted, we're narcissistic and you want people to see it. And at that point in time, that's when consistency comes in. But just as far as being creative in the creative process, that's not a consistency thing.
It's fine.
Practice is different though than, creative. To me, you're creative when you're creative. But to me, if you're building a brand and you're wanting to get a following or establish that's when consistency is important. But I don't think for the creative process, I feel like consistency a lot of times can be a hindrance to that.
Yeah,
because then your shit becomes forced.
Yeah,
like if say okay, I have to release a record every year or every 2 years, then suddenly you have a pressure to write and create this stuff within that time period, which can be good as an exercise, but to create something that you're proud of, like putting those limitations on it. Fucking doesn't. Yeah. It's
Trevor said creators care less.
Who is? That's true. Yeah. I don't know, Trevor. I would argue with that though, because I think creators it's inherent in you to create, but we're also narcissistic enough that we want people to approve of those creations. Because anybody that just says they just create for themselves is kind of full of shit. Because if that's the case, they wouldn't tell anybody that they create.
That's true.
Because we all as humans want that, whatever. So I think we create for the sake of creating, but then we want to share that creation for the sake of
And you want people to like it.
self-aggrandizing. And you want people to like it. Yeah. Because as human beings, we want fucking approval.
Unless you're Banksy, then you don't want people to like you.
Oh
Don't
my
care.
God, he eats off of that shit. He's at home jerking off to fucking shit, all that. That's fucking, yeah.
Think so?
Yeah. Dude, artists are equal parts, and I've said this before in here,
Mhm.
equal parts narcissistic and self-loathing, all mixed into one fucking package.
I think
It's the only way it works.
self-loathing is a form of narcissism, though. Yeah. I mean, I don't, whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so you walked into this going, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. See how it goes. And here we are, goddamn.
Over 2 years later.
2 years in.
Yeah. I really, honestly, I didn't think about, once I knew I enjoyed it, I just knew I was in it.
Yeah.
And that was it.
See, it's honest to God, a love-hate thing for me. Like, I enjoy it, and there's also elements of it that I just fucking dread every goddamn week. And I get here, I'm on the mic.
It's getting up off the couch that is the big kicker for you.
No, dude, I don't spend that much time on the couch.
What do you do when you're at home? When you get off work and you get home, what do you do?
Work around the house. I do watch TV with Amanda and shit, and then computer stuff, mixing whatever, piddle, fart around. But I don't just sit on my ass all the fucking time.
No, I wasn't meaning it like that. I'm just saying,
you mean figuratively speaking,
figuratively speaking,
yeah, it's
leaving the house.
Yeah,
I think that's the big kicker.
Yeah,
I think it wouldn't bother you quite as much if we did it there.
No, I still dread it. Like after we get on here and I can run my mouth, yeah, it's fucking fine. But just the whole process of getting up to it, I fucking hate it. But
no, that's fine.
But I don't know. But I don't know. I don't feel it as, again, you said use cathartic earlier, and that might not be.
Yeah, it's not the right word.
Right.
It's not.
But like, I don't know. I don't get the same. I don't know. I don't know a good way to word it. It's like I'm really not able to play or have the time to play music and write and shit anymore. So this is like, it's something.
Sure. Yeah.
But we're good at it, I think. And I feel like we're good at what we do together. We're good at with having guests on. Like, it works what we're doing, and it needs some refinement, which we've talked about. We're going to be doing some, making some positive changes, I think, after the new year. But as a whole, like, I think it's good. I think we have a good thing. We got, the dynamic works. And if I didn't think it had potential, I wouldn't still be here. Like, if I thought this would just run its course and had nowhere to go, I'd be like, yeah, fuck this. It's not worth it. We can hang out without having to do all this shit.
I don't think we would, but how many times do you think you've decided something has run its course and it's because
I'm bored with it?
Right. It hadn't run its course, but
it's run its course to me.
Well, I think it's because you decide you're bored with it, and so it'll never go where it could go because you're not willing to put it.
That's irrelevant to me. It's run its course to me, and regardless of what its potential course could or could not have been, it's fucking unimportant. Point is, in my world, it's run its course, and I'm done with it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how narcissistic do you think you are?
On me, I'm like a fucking 15.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
100%. 100%.
Okay.
I don't view self-loathing as narcissism as the same thing, though.
I think self-loathing is a form of narcissism.
I would disagree.
Okay. Why?
Because
you're putting enough importance in yourself to hate yourself. But I also think that there's another form of narcissism is where you think, why would anyone think about me at all in anything? It's the
I guess it's a different angle of narcissism. I guess I can understand why you would view it that way. I don't see it that same way, but I get that perspective. That makes sense. But
okay.
Yep.
So whoever's watching, Steven doesn't know this.
Please tell me you have cancer.
That's exactly what I was fixing to say.
Are you serious?
It's not true, but that's what I was about to say.
Oh, okay.
I was about to say I have cancer. No.
I was like, yes.
No.
6 to 8 months max.
No. It's like stage 1.5.
Okay.
No. Steven doesn't know this. I'm springing this on him, but if someone wants to call in later, whenever I bring it up again. And if someone wants to call in and can play against Steven a game of Who's That Racist.
Oh,
I haven't played it in a long
I haven't
time.
played. Do you have the theme music and everything pulled up?
I do.
Nice.
So I have 5 questions.
Okay.
I only have 5, but we'll play a little game of Who's That Racist.
Okay.
So not right now.
I haven't played that in a while.
In a long
It's been
time.
a minute.
It may have been a year or more.
I think it's been that long.
It might have been.
You know, I have no concept of time.
Gotcha.
Like, it might have happened last week. It might have happened 7 years. I don't know.
Yeah.
It happened at some point.
But anyway, so we're going to play that later in the show, probably in the second half. So anyone that's watching and wants to play the game can play the game. So
Nice.
anyway.
All right.
So I have to go to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
I have to go.
Fucking cheese.
Yeah. Cheese. Yeah.
You gonna watch Green Bay?
No, I won't be there while they're playing. Yeah, but I mean, I'm also not going to.
That's my
Bay.
one. That's my one thing. Yeah.
No, I'll be between Milwaukee and Chicago.
Okay.
And not close enough that I can just run there real quick after work and enjoy a city. I'm gonna be in bumfuck Wisconsin.
But see, I don't know if. Well, I guess I don't know how your travel works. I rarely, because of the hours I work when I travel, get to enjoy shit in a city.
When I leave the building in the evening time, and most time when I go on these trips, I actually have somebody that goes with me.
Right.
So it makes it a little bit easier.
You kind of have working hours when you're there too, don't you?
I do, but what happens is we leave there, we run to the hotel, we call our spouses or significant others while we get ready, like change clothes or whatever, and get ready to head out for dinner. We go to dinner and or go to a bar or somewhere where we can buy booze, and then we go back to the hotel and we sit and drink and go over paperwork from the work. That's a couple of nights, and then the other few nights we may do something fun, like we'll do Top Golf if there's a Top Golf.
Do you feel obligated to hang out with the person that you traveled there with?
Obligated, no, but it's better than just in some cases, it's better than just sitting in a hotel room.
Why would you just sit in a hotel room by yourself? Why wouldn't you just go and do and explore by yourself?
I will do that oftentimes, but where I'm going to be this week, there's not as much.
Well, I just meant like when you go out and travel to a city, because you just
I will do that
because you just made it sound like that most nights you're spending together.
We are, but because it makes the week go smoother if we at least talk about the work, and so this is just what we end up doing, because it's one rental car. We're in one rental car, so if they want to go somewhere, the other person's either getting dropped off somewhere or whatever.
Fucking Uber, dude.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
What?
I'm not spending my own money on that kind of shit when I have a rental car available.
Okay.
That's why I always make sure that I'm the one that picks up the rental car.
There you go. Well, then they can Uber.
Yeah. But no, do I feel obligated? No, but do I enjoy hanging out with those people? Because most of them are people that I don't get to see day in and day out. They work in other parts of the country. Yeah. And so
I don't understand.
You don't understand what?
Wanting to hang out with anyone I work with after work. I do it obligatory if I have to.
But see, that's the thing. We're on the same team, but I don't work with them every day.
No, they are a work acquaintance, not a friend. Fuck them.
No, I understand that.
And I don't want any more friends. I don't want to be friendly. I want to go do my thing.
You are a friendly person when you're in public.
I am a friendly person.
Yes.
I absolutely am.
You just said I don't want to be friendly.
I don't want to be.
But you are.
Yeah.
Right. So what if you traveled for work, how many times have you been somewhere for work and you go hang out with work people after work?
If I want to eat for free, yes.
Well, you're eating for free anyway. You're traveling for work.
Yeah. But it's different what I would eat on my own versus when my company's like, hey, we're all going to go out and fucking have steak. I'm like, okay, because that's going to be above my, not that we have a designated limit, but there's an understood, like an unspoken type of deal. But plus two, half the time we're working, and it's not like we're not done at 5, 6 o'clock, whatever time of business. I mean, we're there till fucking 2 a.m, right? And so it's just stopping and getting something on the way back. It's not like, but I don't hang out for funsies. Like if we stop and take a break for lunch, we're all for lunch. We usually go out to dinner and then come back to the work site, so that's a different thing. But after that's done, I don't fucking talk to shit. Fuck them.
Well, what about when they came into town and you went out downtown with them here?
A little different.
Why?
It was a work obligation.
You were obligated to go?
Yeah.
Why?
Just it's okay. So
was it self-obligation because you thought it helps?
No, partially, but not entirely. Have you ever been in a situation if you have like a district, fucking, I don't know your authority structure, but something, they're coming in town. It's heavily suggest, not heavily is the wrong word. It is implied that you should go.
I've never had a superior imply that I should go.
Okay.
I have had plenty of times where they ask, and
okay, well,
sometimes I go and sometimes I don't.
I guess I don't know how to word this very well then. I'm not talking about implied as in like a verbal implied. Implied as in the culture of the company. It is implied that you should go. And so, yes, I could be like, no, fuck off. But if at that point, I was one of the newer guys there. I hadn't met some of the higher up guys. And so it was kind of I'm the new guy. This is what the team does when everybody's together. But it wasn't like a gone and hang out. It was literally my whole department was out.
Sure.
It wasn't hanging out with one dude.
You had a good time, right?
Day. No.
Really? Because you text me about how much fun you guys were having.
Yeah, I text you about how much I was drinking for free.
Okay. Sounds fun to me. Yeah. Drinking for free.
Yeah. But no, I don't enjoy it though. That may be way put. Not that I just don't enjoy that environment. I don't enjoy being on people I don't want to hang out with. I just don't like it. I can make the best of it and I can have fun. It doesn't mean I like it.
And that's the thing is most everyone that I work with, I like them. Do I consider them a friend? No.
I like the people that I work with. I just don't want to spend time with them outside of work.
Yeah.
If I don't have to.
But see, but there's also a difference. One different thought is that I consider when I travel for work, basically, the fuck is this shit?
That's tough. Oh, I know who that is. That's one of.
Okay.
Yeah.
I consider 24 hours a day that I'm working.
Yeah.
I look at the whole week as working. Yeah, I may go to Top Golf or whatever, but but it just doesn't bother me to go to dinner with this person because it's almost always just two people.
Right. And that would
be me and one person.
Yes, I would like that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm saying this. I probably still would because there's some self obligation that you mentioned that goes into it. Like, well, we're here together, we're signing together, probably whatever.
Sure. We ride to the
right.
Work
so
together, we ride back together.
And I get that. I get that. I'm just saying I don't enjoy that. I don't like it. There's no part of me that
nothing it.
Like if I get the chance to do my own thing, I will absolutely 100% go.
I have done that though. I've been in guy I tried with was in
saying I like most of the people I work with, like on a friendly basis. But I'm saying when I say friendly, I don't mean acting friendly. I mean like the term of being friendly with someone, like being buddy-ish. Do you know that? Do you know the phrase I'm talking about? Like, hey, we're friendly. Yeah. Not that I'm being friendly to you, but we're friendly.
Yeah.
Like I don't like being friendly with people if I don't have to be.
Sure.
Because I have my certain self-imposed morals wrong word, self-imposed like work obligations that I feel like this is what I need to do, this is what I don't need to do, whatever. It doesn't mean I like doing it. I do it because I feel like I need to.
Okay.
To survive, not to really survive, just to be in the workplace. But because part of it's when you get to a certain level, you have to play the game to a point.
Sure. I agree with that. You do have to play the game a little bit.
Yep. Like I've never, I don't know. Like I refuse to kiss ass, but I'll like go with the flow if I need to for shit like that. Like my boss is coming down, like the big boss. Like, yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to hang out and I'm going to do my best and I'm going to have fun. That doesn't mean I'm going to like.
What do you consider kissing ass? Because I've heard people say, I've heard some people say that just what you said, you're going to go hang out with them, drink with whatever, is kissing ass or sucking up, whatever you want to call it. I disagree with that too.
Yeah.
But I also know whenever I come into, once I go in and observe people for a little bit.
Yep. That's exactly it.
I know who I need to, for lack of a better phrase, get in being good with.
Right.
Or I need to be on that person's good side. And these people, I just need them to not hate me.
Right.
And
see, my whole thing with like, to me, sucking up is when you're essentially, blowing a dude to get what the fuck you want, like literally kissing their ass, whatever. And my thing is like, everybody I work with will tell you, I'll fucking speak exactly what's in my mind to anyone at any given time. I don't give a shit. But I understand that like if it's a team, quote unquote, or a department thing, I'm part of the department. You play nice, right? But if it comes down to it and it gets to the point where I need to speak up, like I'll say what I need to fucking say. But part of coming out of a military-ish structure, right, in the background, I also understand my place in the food chain.
Mm-hmm.
So like if my boss asks me something, or if it's my place to say something, or if I think we're making a fucking terrible decision, I'll be like, hey, dude, it's fucking bad.
Wrong idea. I do that.
Whatever. And then if they say, yep, sorry, we're doing it anyway, then it's like, all right. And I'll go with that. But I'm speaking my piece. To me, sucking up would be, oh, yes, sir, that's a great idea. Whatever you need, I'll be the first one there. Like that's fucking sucking up. But going above and beyond and working your dick off, as long as you stand by the shit that you
Sure.
things the right way to do it. I don't think that's sucking up at all.
Yeah.
But there's certain expectations in a different department, and a lot of people that have never been into a corporate environment don't kind of get that there's unspoken expectations of your role in a team or the department or whatever that you have to kind of fulfill if you want to continue to move forward in your career.
Yeah. I agree with you.
Like I could come in and swing my dick around and I will never move beyond the spot that I'm at right now.
I guess
you got to play the game is what I'm getting at.
Going back to where this originally started is like, I don't understand if you're traveling, if two people are traveling, not even necessarily together, because most time we're coming from two different parts of the country, but we're going to the same place to work together for something. I don't understand unless you have an obligation. Like I traveled with a guy, and 1 or 2 nights during the week, he had schoolwork he had to do.
Yeah.
So we went to dinner together, came back, and then when I wanted to go check something out, he just didn't. And I get that. But I don't get the just sitting in the hotel or going somewhere on your own. I don't get the not obligation, because I don't feel obligated to. I just don't get that.
See, I enjoy doing things on my own so much.
And I do too.
I enjoy them more. Like there are very few people I enjoy doing things with.
It depends on if I'm having a good time. I like for other people to experience having a good time.
Yeah, I don't care about
and if you're with me and I'm having a good time and you decide you're not having a good time, well, that's on you at that point.
Exactly. But I don't even like being in that situation where, not that I'm having to worry about it, but I don't want to deal with some dude that's not going to have a good time.
Do you consider yourself introverted?
Yeah, to a point.
In your natural habitat, are you introverted? Like, I'm not saying do you know how to play the game and seem extroverted. I'm saying, like, if left to your own devices, are you an introvert?
No, I think I'm a combination. I see. I think it's more layered than that, because I prefer not to be around anyone, but I also have this crippling need to fucking
be accepted and
be not accepted and loved, but just to have the spotlight, like attention.
Okay.
I'm an introverted attention whore.
Okay.
Like I want the attention on
You're
my
an
terms.
Extroverted introvert.
Yeah. Like I want attention on my terms, right? And when I want it and how I want it. And then everything saying, fuck everybody, I want to be left alone in my room.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want.
You're the guy that comes off stage and then sits in the green room and never comes out and shakes hands with people. And I don't understand that for a performer.
No, but I would still come out and shake hands, because to me, that's part of the whole performance, right? Part of the performance is
well, these people are here to see me. They want to shake my hand.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. But then after all that's done, then I go on the bus and I don't talk to fucking shit. I just stay thinking. But after the tour is over, then nobody sees or hears somebody for months on end until it's time to go on tour again.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's how I look at it. I mean, and again, I don't personally dislike any of these people. And like I said, and thinking through it, like what you just said, is when you're out on the road and you're working with someone, there is this weird, I hate the term obligation because it's too strong of a word, but there is this kind of expectation maybe that you're working together, you're on a work trip together. So especially if the company's paying for dinner, you're using a company card, all that bullshit. But
I don't use a company card for my food anymore when I travel. It's just easier to pay for it out of my own pocket and take the per diem, because then if I want to eat more at lunch and less at dinner, I can, or whatever.
We don't have that. I can literally go in. Like we have a suggested cap that we're supposed to stay.
No, we have a cap.
Oh, I know you do. Yeah.
So what you have to with a company.
But see, I don't have per diem. I just have supposed to stay below this amount when you eat. But if I don't spend it, I don't get shit back. So I might as well fucking eat.
Well, so I could go literally. So when I arrive on Monday, when I leave the building on Monday, if I wanted to go to a grocery store and buy a loaf of bread, a pack of ham, pack of cheese, and 12 pack of Cokes, and just eat that all week, I could claim per diem every day and pocket the money.
That's what I did when I was with Prattis. I'd go buy fucking
fuck that, man. I'm somewhere that I don't normally live. I want to go out and get some of the food that's local.
But
but
half the time I was in shitty places.
No, I get that. I understand that. Like I will drive 30 or 45 minutes one night to actually have good Chicago pizza.
See, my thing usually now when I'm on the road, I still don't spend quarter as much as a lot of the people.
Oh yeah, I mean,
but I'll go out usually, and I spend most of my money goes to coffee. Right. And I'll usually that whole week, I'll have like one nice dinner. And by nice, I mean like it'll be $60 with tip.
Oh, fuck that. Dude, we don't even get $60 all day.
Right. No, right. And same, but I mean, I won't or anything, but I mean, I'll have one but that's for the entirety of the week. And again, your company breaks down by day and it's much more structured. But for me,
we get $8 for breakfast,
Mhm.
$12 for lunch, and $24 for dinner.
Yeah.
Does that come out to 44? Yes. 24 for dinner.
Yeah. Okay.
And
but the thing, like on the average day, I'm spending maybe 15 total on dinner.
Yeah.
And so or on food through the day. So so one decent dinner, it's still a lot, but I mean, I can go to a decent place and eat. But the rest of the time I've been eating like fucking 7-11 fucking food,
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, and if our hotel offers breakfast and it's something that we can eat, I'm not allergic to or whatever, or we're there during breakfast hours, we have to subtract the $8 from our per diem.
That's some bullshit right there. Fuck that.
So what
that's getting fucked on some travel is what that is.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something else.
How do they follow up to know if they served breakfast or not you can eat?
They don't.
Yeah.
They don't follow up.
Why would you ever deduct $8?
But most of the time when I travel, when we're leaving the hotel in the morning to go into the office, they've just recently started serving breakfast.
Right.
So it's feasible that we didn't really. I mean, I'm not getting up an extra hour early to be ready and sitting there with a knife and fork when the breakfast comes out, especially for fucked up continental breakfast.
Right.
I
don't understand. Yeah. It's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah. So, which mostly what I eat for breakfast nowadays is a banana during the week anyway. And that's it.
I will say prior to this, the last job I had, though, the per diem per day was, I think it was like $40. Like it was 30 or 40. It wasn't.
Ooh.
It was wow. It was rough.
But I mean, yeah. It's hard to eat lunch at a restaurant for $12.
Yeah. It's $30 a day for food. If you eat 3 meals is almost fucking possible unless you're eating all fast food.
That's it. That's what I was gonna say. If I were a single person with no one relied on me for anything and no kids or whatever, I could live in a van.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I could have a conversion van. We have showers at work.
Yep.
I mean, you can get hotspot internet to have. You can. Oh, that wasn't loud at all.
Wasn't that loud? It's a little loud.
You can get hotspot internet and have cable TV in your vehicle if you wanted to have cable TV, but YouTube TV on a computer or whatever. But hotspot internet. Drive wherever you drive around wherever you could go live down by the lake if you wanted to. I mean, in your van or whatever. Like I could comfortably live in a van if I were single. And spend very little money on food every day because I can go to McDonald's and eat for what did it when I was fatter? It would go to McDonald's. It's like $3.59.
If you don't get combo meals, those have gotten expensive as fuck.
They have, but I don't get the combo meals because I don't want the fries. They just make me feel blah.
Well, I took Lyric and Jude and myself through some fast food. I don't remember what it was. It wasn't McDonald's somewhere, but anyway, it was like $30 fucking. Like Jesus Christ. It's insane.
Yeah, it's rough, especially if you add in anything special, a milkshake or a frappuccino.
Special. Fuck. Dude.
Something from Met Cafe. It's better. Look, all right, not all of them are. Where I'm from in Pulaski, the best coffee in that town was McDonald's.
Yeah, for sure.
But
dude,
I prefer McDonald's coffee to Starbucks. I fucking hate Starbucks. It's awful. Its only redeeming factor is it's consistent. You know you're going to get shitty coffee every time.
What kind of drink? What do you drink? Just the drip, just like a normal cup of coffee?
Black coffee.
Fuck that.
It's awful. But that's what I drink. I drink black coffee.
Yeah.
Splash of milk. Splash of whole milk.
You need to expand your horizons a little bit. Get some espresso and shit.
I like some of that other stuff, but I'm not willing to pay Starbucks prices for it.
That's fair.
It's not good enough for me to pay the price. It's way overpriced. It's the thing. And whatever. Whatever. I don't anyway. So I don't understand you. I don't understand you.
Oh yeah.
I don't when it comes to all of these things, the going out, hanging out a little bit or whatever with people from work when you're traveling.
And I always end up doing it
and stuff like that. Yeah. I mean, sometimes I don't like it. Like there's definitely times when they're like, "What? I want to go eat." So, and I'm like, "Fuck, I don't want to go eat there." Yeah. But whatever.
I just resign myself that if I'm with people that outrank me, that I'm not going to get a vote in where we fucking go eat anyway.
Oh yeah, dude. So I traveled to Toronto a few years ago, and a director came up toward the end of the week and So basically, it was me and another guy who are equals. Our boss, her boss, his boss.
Right.
So this is all the way up to director level.
Right.
And we decide we're going to go to eat. And we go to decent places when I travel.
Yeah.
Like, I don't eat shit at dinner time.
Right.
You know. But the director wanted to go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Right.
It's Canada, I get it, but you're still in another country. So they definitely have things
Get some
there.
poutine.
Get some poutine. Right, for sure. But he wanted to go to Buffalo Wild Wings.
Some that Canadian bacon.
That's not even the worst part of it.
Okay.
Fine, Buffalo Wild Wings. I can eat wings from there.
Some B-dubs.
He ate a salad and drank wine. You go to Buffalo Wild Wings, you don't eat salad, and you drink beer.
Or whiskey.
But they're more, I mean, I think they got a bigger beer selection probably than their whiskey selection, but still, I mean, wings and beer, they just go great together. But every one of us, except for my boss, she ate a salad, but she was a finicky, tiny little woman. But yeah, I didn't understand that. I didn't understand, for one, the Buffalo Wild Wings choice.
Yeah.
But then the salad and wine. He's drinking red wine and eating a salad in Buffalo Wild Wings.
Nice.
I don't understand that. So
maybe he just really likes Buffalo Wild Wings salads.
I doubt that.
Yeah, and maybe their house wine is just fucking.
Yeah,
it's fantastic.
Excuse me, garçon, could you bring me your best B-dub wine? I ate wings for dinner tonight.
Congratulations.
You just made me think of that. I love wings.
Yeah, I love fucking wings too.
Yeah.
Fucking a man eating them.
Yeah. Are you a drum? Are you a flat or a drum person?
Both.
I mean, I'll eat both, but what do you prefer? If they're one of each is later, not one of each, but let's just say you can only have 10 wings. What are you gonna pick? You gonna get a 5 and 5?
I'm indifferent.
You're indifferent.
To me, they both have their benefits. They're I don't care.
What are the benefits of the flat?
They're equal.
What's the benefit of the flat?
I don't know. Easier to eat.
No, I disagree with that.
I don't
completely.
know. No, I don't know. I'm just throwing shit out. Like, to me, they're
that's what. But that's what Olivia said. I feel like it's easier to eat. Like, why? You have 3 bones to finagle with.
You can take the wing.
Yes, and you can.
No,
I understand that.
Straight
yes.
pull all the shit off. Can't do that with a leg.
I think you can do it with the drum just as easy if you want to.
Drum.
I don't think you can do that. I don't think that consistently enough you can do that with a flat.
Yeah, 100% you can.
I don't know. I've seen that go wrong for plenty of people.
That doesn't mean
But anyway, I just feel like the drum's easier. I mean, it just is. You just one bone, hold it, eat the meat right off of it.
They're the same.
They're not the same. It's not.
They're both chicken and they both have sauce on them.
Sure.
Neither one of them are white meat, so who cares?
Yeah, but I'm just saying one's easier to eat, one's not. And I feel like the drum has more meat on it.
Some drums.
Well, yeah, for sure, not everyone, but I think more drums have more meat than flats.
I need to see your sources.
I don't have source. That's why I said I think.
Anecdotally,
I think.
I really don't care. I
fucking love wings, man.
Yeah, same. Eat so many.
And there's one difference between you and I.
I don't like buffalo though.
Oh, okay.
Buffalo sauce.
I thought you were gonna say, oh, you don't like buffalo sauce.
I like buffalo sauce.
Huh? Why is that? Too spicy for you?
No, I don't like the tanginess. It's fucking like
you haven't had good buffalo sauce,
right? But no, like
you gotta eat buffalo sauce.
Like hot barbecue, like any of the other shit I like. I just don't like.
See,
buffalo.
I don't care as much for the sweetness of when you start to get the barbecue when it comes to.
Now, let me rephrase that. I can eat. It's my least favorite of the flavors, probably.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
That's fine. I can understand that.
Yeah.
But you don't like boneless wings, do you? Which they're not wings. I get it.
Chicken tender. They're tendies.
They're nuggets.
They're tendies.
That size is not that's not a tender.
You're talking about a
it's basically roughly the same amount of meat. It's actually probably a little more meat, actually, but it's roughly the same size as what you would buy it on a wing. But
it's white meat, though, usually.
Yeah. I like white meat.
Yeah, I prefer white meat and chickens. I check chicken breast over dark meat all day.
Most of the time I do, but if you don't do it right, it's fucking dry, man.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I don't have anything against. I just don't prefer boneless at all. Like if I'm eating boneless, I want a fucking chicken strip.
Oh, chicken finger, chicken tender,
chicken tendy.
Yeah. Okay. No, I like the boneless.
Dry rubber, wet rub.
Well, no, the boneless are easier. They're easier. They're easier to eat, less mess, more meat.
Okay.
That's the thing.
All right.
So I don't whatever.
Different flavor profile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, what you got tonight?
I thought we were talking about you keep cutting this wing conversation short.
Cutting this wing. Go for it. What do you get? What else you got about wings? I didn't think so. I didn't think so.
You've gotten a little indignant on this second half.
No, I'm just
Dude, Hunter's,
my back's hurting.
Hunter's still pushing to get.
He is. The problem is, all right, you don't know this. I don't think you know this. I pitched Hunter, he and I doing a sports podcast.
Okay.
Like football, whatever,
yeah.
you know. And to which he said, yeah, I know a guy that's really into like sports. So like the three of us could do it. Like, why I didn't offer to do a podcast with him. It's not, I'm not saying I wouldn't, but what I also said to Hunter is, look, here's what you need to know. I will come prepared, but I will do nothing but that. You can handle social media. You can handle social media. You can set up the RSS feed. You can do any of that other stuff. Yeah. But I will come and I'll talk about sports.
Yeah.
I said
basically the opposite of this podcast.
I told him right. I told him, I said, look, I can come prepared.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't know everything about all sports and I don't know everything about any sport, but I know enough to talk sports.
Mm-hmm.
And I have an opinion. And that's the thing. I said, right. It's like, so I said, I can't necessarily commit to doing it every week, but I don't see why I can't do it every other week. And he was like, I'm totally down. Let's do it. I'm like, fine. Set it up. Let me know. Hadn't heard anything about it yet. But I did notice he put out another episode of his podcast with the guy he was talking about, and they talked about sports.
Elf Ear Sports.
Yeah. He has aspirations.
He does.
And he's trying to reach them. Yeah. So I give him props.
No, I do give him props for that. I mean, he seems like he's always pushing on something. I just like giving him shit because he's Hunter. But
sure.
Yeah. But I'm not anti-Hunter. You know, I'm just not pro-Hunter.
So you know about his girlfriend calling in.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Me getting her to call in.
I need to listen to that.
And then that and it was really more of couples therapy, honestly. Yeah. Like she got to say some of her stuff. I gave him the opportunity to say his. He didn't.
Also, she actually aired grievances on the show.
A little bit, yeah.
Oh,
for sure. And I was trying to pull funny out of it, but also trying to because he was so uncomfortable. He was literally texting me saying, please hang up on her. Not hang up on her, but like, please stop doing this. And then his friend started calling. He was texting me going, please answer the phone. And I would just text him back really quick while I was still talking to her, like text him back and say like, no, thanks. Like, and just things like that.
Wow. And he's still calling for me to get fired. Jesus.
Yeah. And so, but I tried to find humor in it, but also not say anything that I wouldn't want to be said if I were talking about relationship problems.
Okay.
As far as like, I didn't make suggestions that, or say, oh, I totally agree with you if I didn't, I guess is what I'm saying. I was realistic. I just tried to find some humor in things and make fun of Hunter.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed talking to Hunter for the most part.
Yeah. Did you feel like that you played devil's advocate in the sense of siding with her to get more of a rise out of Hunter?
No, I was honestly surprised by some of the things she was saying.
Okay.
And that I definitely played to that.
Mm-hmm.
And I also played into Hunter being uncomfortable, but not, I don't feel like I sided with her.
Okay.
I did side with her some, not to get at Hunter.
Yeah. Okay.
So
interesting.
Yeah, had a good time.
She should call back in.
She said she'd come be a guest on here sometime. Oh, nice. I don't know if she would now.
Yeah.
Let's text her and find out. I've got her number.
Oh, how fucked up would that be? Are you actually fucking doing it?
I'm going to.
Jesus.
Yeah. What's so what?
Nothing. Just you're ruthless, man. I love it.
Ruthless. Dude, I'm just searching for content.
You're looking for content at this point. You feel like we're running out of steam 45 minutes in?
No. Anyway, go ahead while I try to find this.
All right.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm having to figure out which number this is.
You can do it on break. That's my point.
No.
Get your shit together, Joey.
I I mean, it's 45 minutes in. We might as well take a break now anyway.
You want to take a break now?
We finished talking about wings. We talked about your extroverted introvertism.
I do want to make one thing clear.
Massive tech.
Is the fact that, like, and I might have made this clear, but I don't know if we ever got the thought because we kind of jumped.
You hate being here?
Yes, absolutely. I fucking hate you. But no, as far as work goes, it's like I am legitimately appreciative of my job, and I work with some really, really great people, some that I want to punch in the fucking dick. But at the end of the day, everybody's right. And I end up going out with everybody at the end of most work trips because as much as I'm bitching about it, like that's kind of what you do on a work trip. And I recognize that. If I had my preference, we'd finish the work date, I'd go the fuck off and do my own thing and not speak to anybody till the next morning. But I'm talking about ideals, but realistically, I'm in the same boat as you. I end up going out and
I go out
if I have the opportunity to get the fuck away. But the last 2 times I've gone on a trip, last 3 times, the first time the VP of my company was there, so I couldn't. He was like, "Yeah, we're doing this." I was like, "Oh, okay,
sure."
Then the time everybody came down, the VP of my department and my director were both there. And then one of the other times I was with my director and then the guy that's now my boss. It's kind of like, fuck.
Sure.
And again, newer in the company. So do you consider that kissing up? Let me ask you that. Like, if you're new in a company and trying to establish your place, do you feel like you have to play the game more than you do?
Play the game, maybe. Kiss up, no.
No, not kissing up. Play the game to get established in a place that you're like. In other words, while you're feeling everybody out, feeling what your role's like if somebody's like, "Hey, we're all going to do this," being like, "All right, I guess I'm doing this," to kind of feel out. Yeah.
So I do feel like that. Let me ask you:
you have to play the game.
If you go to, like, say, a corporate office, and there's people there you've met before, hung out with, had dinner with, whatever, that are way higher up than you, do you go say hi to them?
Yes.
Even if you're not going to have any interaction with them while you're there?
Yes.
Yeah, me too. And I know people that say that's kissing ass.
No.
It's
and
not.
The reason why, but I can tell you why I do it, is to show no intimidation. Like, I don't give a fuck who you are. You're another dude. I've met you. I know you. Hey, how you doing? That's the whole reason.
Now, what if you don't like them?
Then I'll make it a point to say hello. That's even more of a reason to say hello at that point in time.
I
call my VP the first time I met him by his first fucking name with a dude.
Oh yeah.
At the end of it. Yeah. Just because I was proving a point.
All right.
Like, I was nice, but we wasn't in work. It was like afterwards they'd met us at the bar and, for dinner, and they're like, "Oh, I'm so-and-so." I was like, "Hey dude, I'm blah, blah, blah." And just because at the bar, I don't work for you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
We're equal.
So,
anyway, continue. Sorry.
When Olivia was going to spread the gospel to India,
save them souls.
We were dropping
dirty
her
Indian souls
off at the airport, and a bunch of people from our corporate office were flying into Knoxville that same day for a big thing going on at my building. And I was just I left work, went to the airport, met my wife and her at the airport to see her off, and then I was going back to work.
Right.
As I was getting on the elevator in the parking garage at the airport, I saw a director way higher up than me coming out of the building, and I saw him and I was like, huh. And so I just then the elevator opened, and so I let's just say his name is John Smith, and I just stepped out from where the elevator is and I went, "John Smith," and he went, like, he looked for a second like, "Oh fuck, who have I wrong? Like, who's fixing to shoot me here or whatever?" And I reintroduced. We had met before. He's like, "Oh yeah, okay." He's like, "You caught me at an airport that I don't fly in and out of much," and he said, "I'm all right, fine." He's like, "Are you not working today or what?" And I was like, No, I'll be back. My daughter's leaving, so whatever. And he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, I'll see you later." But it was an interesting thing. Like, and I've had several people say, "Why would you speak to him at an airport like that? That you're not there to see him or pick him up? Why would you do it?" I was like, "Why not?"
Yeah, why would I not?
Right.
Again, if I see him over at a salad bar and I'm the fuck over here, I'm not going to run across and be like, "Oh, hey, it's good to see you again," whatever. But in that situation, fuck yeah.
Yeah, and if I happen to be in the city he generally lives in and I'm at a restaurant and I see him, I'm not going to walk over and interrupt his dinner or whatever.
No, nod, whatever the fucking, But my whole thing is like, there's a difference between, like, to me, sucking up would be like, "Oh, sir, it's nice to see you again, sir. Can let me know next time you're in town and my wife will make you some dinner, sir." And like, that's sucking some dick. But just be like, "Hey man, it's good to see you again," or whatever his fucking name was. It's like, that's just being courteous. And I don't know, I have a fine line in my head, and I'm trying not to give you too much room to dig into it because you're a dick.
Okay.
But as far as
I'm barely listening to you.
Right.
So.
That's fair. No, I'm just curious if you feel the same way. Like to me, there is a little bit of an area there that's like, where do you fall between making your presence known and that's what I'm working at. Like saying hello to somebody, right? Like if maybe you've met them once or maybe you haven't met them yet, but you know it would be beneficial to you to meet them, right? Do you consider that sucking up?
No.
Yeah.
Not meeting someone. No.
No, I mean taking the opportunity. Like if they have nothing to do with whatever the fuck you're in, but you see them there and you know that there'd be a beneficial person to at least make that initial seed of introduction to.
I'm not going to walk up to them on my own. I'm not going to walk up to them on my own without any other reason than to go, hey, I'm Joey. I do blah, 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 blah. It's nice to meet you or whatever. I'm not going to do that. But I will ask someone, is that so-and-so?
Right.
And then, all right, I'd like to meet him sometime. Because most of the time, that's enough that someone higher up is going to go, oh, well, let's go and I'll go introduce you or whatever.
Yeah.
Now, you call it weaseling your way into getting to meet them or whatever. I don't give a shit.
Yeah. I think for me, it's circumstantial, right?
It is.
Like if it's a more of a more of a casual situation, like again, company, like outing, like I'll go right up and be like, hey, what's up, man? I'm blah, blah. I'm so-and-so in this department, just because, but that's not in,
it's not in me to do that.
Really?
Yeah. That part of me is introverted.
Yeah. See, it's not an introvert extroverted thing to me. It's a dominance thing. Like,
and I don't care enough about it.
Me going up and introducing myself to you directly, even though your status in this company is up the fuck here, I'm showing you that I don't give a shit about your status. We're just dudes.
How does that show that I don't give a shit about your status? But introduce yourself to somebody. How does that show that?
It's not an introduction of like, hi, sir. It's, hey, man. I do it straight up, like no last names, no misters, no misses. Like it's
sure, but most people that I know in my company doesn't do it that way. You're saying you don't do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, I know a couple people in the company that call everyone in casual conversation and in meetings, Mr. or Miss,
right?
Whoever.
Right.
But, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, no. It's a thing. It's nothing to do with work or anything. It's just like a life thing. It's just, I don't know. I've always been of the fact.
I always shake hands for sure if I meet someone.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's a thing that's going away too.
Yeah. Well, that's COVID.
No, I felt like it was going away before COVID, though.
Yeah,
less and less young people are. Oh, I'm sure, but I feel like less and less.
What do you
young
think
people
about the business
hands.
fist bump?
The business fist bump. That depends on the circumstances.
Well, I'm talking about a lot of younger kids, like, oh, especially with COVID, they're like, oh, the young ones, like, oh, it's nice to meet you. Good job, whatever.
If you're doing it because of germs and COVID, then you're stupid.
Yeah,
but
shake my hand like a goddamn man is my.
That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me how many things you and I agree on that are kind of old school like that.
Yeah.
But then other things that you're like, no, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Yeah. I think my thing with talking about introductions and stuff, I feel like I have this issue with like, I don't have an issue with authority as far as understanding my place in a structure. Like my job is this. I have a boss that does this or whatever, but I have a hard time on an individual basis. I can take a big issue if somebody feels like that they're up here because of their work status. And I feel like I go out of my way to make that a point that I don't care about it.
But you don't care about it, so
I don't care about it.
You don't think that work status, it's normal that some people are above other people? Not in an office environment.
No, in life. But that's what I'm saying. For me, it's a life standpoint, not like in an office.
But you're in a work.
I'm talking about it outside. Like a work thing is different than at work.
Yeah, but it's still a work sanctioned thing.
Yeah.
So you still have the same status.
If we're out and we're at a bar, there's no fucking status.
It's work sanctioned. It's still work status.
Yeah.
It is.
I disagree.
It's a work sanctioned event. It is. There's still hierarchy. That person can still walk up and fire you if they wanted to.
Good.
Yeah. Good, bad, otherwise. I'm just saying. Like,
it's got nothing to do with my job. That's my point.
I'm not saying it does have to do with your job. I'm just saying in a work sanctioned event, the status is still there. You may not choose to.
I don't recognize it outside of an office environment.
That's what I'm saying. You may do that. It doesn't mean it doesn't exist.
Right. I get it. Like if we're talking about work, I get it. Fall in line. But if we're bullshitting at a bar like you and I are, even if it's at a company event, like all that that goes out the window to me.
And the reason I would say it doesn't is because it does for you. I understand that. You don't give a shit about it, so it goes out the window. But I'm saying the reason the status still exists, the reason that the status still exists is because if somebody acts a fool and portrays the company poorly,
right,
that person is responsible for that.
Yeah.
That's why I say the status is still there.
Gotcha.
If it's a work now,
I would say
if we just happen to be at the same bar, and it's not a work event,
right?
I get it.
Yeah.
The status is there. I mean, it is, but it isn't.
Yeah. Well, I would say it's not entirely, but it's
no.
Only
but if he saw you punch a
woman,
woman, you think that's not going to bleed over to work?
Yeah, but then we can have a different conversation.
Sure, but I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, at the end of the day, regardless of the work status, if they're able to hire and fire and do whatever, that's just the as much authority and action as they have available to them. And like at the end of the day, I'll die on a fucking hill. If I got to knock your fucking teeth in and lose my job, I'll knock your fucking teeth in and lose my job. I don't give a shit. Not at work, at a bar. Completely different.
So, and I noticed you said you don't call anybody by their first or last name in that situation.
I'll call somebody by their first name, is what I'm saying. But like I'm
well, you said I don't use names. It's just like, hey man, how's it going or whatever.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, if I know their name or whatever, I mean, I'm not. I have no problem being like, oh, hey Joey, what's up, man? Like that's fine. But I'm saying it's a very non-casual. I don't use the name in the rigidity like, oh, hey, Mr. So and So, or hi. It's not a formal thing. I make it a point to make it very informal, I guess.
Yeah, I get that. Okay.
So, yeah. So all that to say, like, I understand the work sanction, but to me, after it's outside of the office, if it's work sanction, I understand business decorum. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I understand the need of this is a company dinner, right? As opposed to my department being out. Now, fuck those guys. I'll talk however.
You ever seen anybody that you work with make a move on a boss's spouse or significant other?
Oh, I wish I would have.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
Saw it a few years ago. So I'm grabbed his.
That's not making a move. That's fucking.
Well, regardless.
Yeah.
It's getting fresh. No. Yeah. Straight up grabbed her ass. Walked by her and grabbed
Holy shit.
And it's technically at his level. There's 1, 2. It's the wife of the guy 3 levels above him.
That's ballsy.
It's fucking ballsy. He almost lost his job for it.
Yeah, he should have lost his job for it.
He should have lost his job for it. Yeah. But
see, it's funny as much
the
as
guy is a little bit compassionate about things and sat down with him and said, "This is it. You acted a fool that night.
Yeah.
You have no more."
Yeah. You know what? Yeah. I would have fired him immediately if I was in city of authority. But
I don't know if I would have or not.
I just realized something as far as this conversation goes. We can move on from it after this, but I realized how much respect I show someone. At least I'm respect. I'm sorry. How much decorum I keep with someone is based on how much I respect them. So if I have a boss that I really respect, I will keep it within defined lines. But
so what if you don't have a decision made on it yet? Do you go in with just respect?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Still won't do the Mr. Mrs. Fuck that.
Why?
What's that? I don't like it. Because you're not my dad, and half the time I'm older than you.
You don't call your dad Mr. Massey.
Yeah, they're not your dad.
I understand that,
right? You're just because, and honestly, okay, it's a work thing, but you're still a dude my age. Like I'm not going to give you a Mr. or Mrs. I will.
So what if they're older than you?
What's that?
What if they're older than you?
Still, it's I don't know. It's a weird thing with me. Like I will call you by your name. I'll say when I'm speaking, I'll say yes or no, sir, as my boss. But I'm not going to call you.
So what is the difference in sir or Mr.?
I don't like the titles. I don't fucking like it. Sir is because I was raised yes sir, yes ma'am. It's easy. It rolls off the tongue. It has nothing to do with your position.
Were you not raised saying Mr. and Mrs. anything?
For old people or people like are way older than me, yeah.
But
it's different. Then I separate it in the work environment. I completely do. I 100% do. Yeah.
I
pick and choose. I cherry pick.
You do. You definitely do that.
But again,
I think it's your way of giving a middle finger to. Was she hot? Yeah, actually.
Yeah.
I think that's your way of giving a sort of middle finger.
Oh, it is.
To hierarchy.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't understand why you feel the need to do that.
No. But it's not as a hierarchy in the sense of I understand a hierarchy is needed for things to function.
Well, but it's you sort of
social hierarchy.
You're kind of underhandedly going, fuck your title. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Why? What
I like
gain from that?
It makes me feel better.
Why?
Just does. I can't give you a good reason.
Okay.
It just does.
That's fine.
I guess I like knowing because I always joke, like at the end of the day, I might be surrounded by, I'll take the last couple of jobs that I've had. I might be surrounded by people. I'm just going to put my hand on a chair that's not there.
I know.
But I might be surrounded by people that are 1,000 times smarter than me, but I can beat every one of their asses, and that equals the fucking playing field. No, I can tell you 100%. That's the fact.
Maybe you can.
No, 100%.
There's no way for you to say 100% that a room that you're in with people that are.
I'm talking about I'm not talking about a room in theory. I'm talking about the people that I know that I have worked with in my last 2 jobs.
Okay.
100 fucking percent.
Okay.
So my point being, that in my brain evils the playing field. Like I can work. I'll work circles around most of them as far as my work ethic, and I can kick the shit out of you. So any smartness that you have, that levels the playing field for me. I don't understand. Like, that's just one thing. That's just how my brain works.
It levels the playing field in your mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
The social dynamic, not the work dynamic. To me, like, the work thing is an obligatory thing you have to be a part of to make money, to provide for your family, all that shit. But it doesn't mean anything in the long run. It only means something in the regards to my ability to make money.
Okay.
But outside of any type of professional environment, it's just people, right? And I guess I have a really hard time when people put a hierarchy into just, they carry their work hierarchy over into like a social, personal one. And I think I have an inherent like hatred for that. And I try to break that down.
Okay.
You're tired of talking about this?
No. I'm just like, it's one of those situations where I've heard the magic words and there's no point in drilling down on it.
Yeah. What are the magic words?
The magic words are, I can't put my finger on it. It just does to me.
Yeah.
Those are the magic words.
Yeah. I mean, if we sat and wanted
it's not new year, but it's new me.
Right. Now, but I'm saying if we want to sit down and dissect this over the course of hours, I probably could figure it out, but I'm not going to give it that much. I just know that I fucking hate it. And
yeah, and I'm not going to be able to change it.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's not important enough for me to.
Exactly.
That's the thing.
Let's agree to disagree.
I don't care. Like, no. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the way you feel about that. The way I don't care about it is because, well, I can't change it.
Right.
Does being that way benefit me? No.
Yeah. It makes me feel better.
Yeah, but why?
I don't know.
That's the thing.
It just does.
Yeah. Those are the magic words.
Does.
So
right.
there's no point in me drilling down anymore on it.
Yeah, like I have all kinds of like theoretical shits as to why in my background and tied in and all that other shit. But what it boils down to is just I like it. I like telling people "fuck you."
Yeah. How many times you can hit that microphone or stand tonight?
It's a lot bigger than the other one, and you sit very
said.
steadily. You sit very steady, and you move back and like this.
Yeah,
I talk with my hands a little more. So,
you keep your stand up higher than mine, yet you still hit everything more
because I talk here.
Okay, you're not hitting it from the top, but anyway, I've decided I'm going to make a conscious effort to not have you backpedal on something, and see if you do it anyway.
Yeah,
I'm not going to say that the questions I ask are not going to cause you to do it,
right?
But I'm not purposely going after it.
All right,
and I'm going to see.
I will
probably
because most of the time. Because when I'm talking, I'm just talking out fucking whatever is off the cuff. And then half the time I realize what I've said is like, that's not really what I want to say, or that's not what I mean, or no, you know what? Now that I'm talking about it, I don't think I think that way, and you enjoy that very much. You're much more deliberate in how you speak.
That's true.
Much more deliberate.
Yeah, that's true.
And I'm not. I just spew.
I do just spew, but it's things I've thought out.
Well, if you noticed, if I'm not just ranting and we're having like a sincere conversation, even off mic, right?
Mm-hmm.
I tend to be pretty well thought out, and when we're actually having a discussion about shit. But on here, dude, I just let it fucking fly.
Why?
I don't know. That's part of what makes this show fun, is it not? My fucking overreaction to every goddamn thing and backpedaling and argument and all that shit.
I'm not saying it doesn't, but I'm just saying, why do you do that?
Because half the time, because we don't have a plan of what I give no forethought to anything we're going to talk about here. So I'll get riled up and just whatever fucking shit's coming on my head, I just start spitting the fuck out. And then after we talk, you're like, well, what about this? I'm like, oh yeah, what about that? And you're like, oh yeah, well, what about this? I'm like, oh yeah, well, what about that? And well, that's not exactly what I meant. Let's go back here a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's fine.
Let's take a fucking break.
Yep.
God damn it.
Finally. All right. So here's the picks for week 15. First, I'm going to tell you how week 14 went. Steven took Raiders over the Chiefs. Chiefs were giving up 10. Didn't get that one. And he took Saints over the Jets. Saints were giving up 5.5. He hit that one. He took Cowboys over Washington. Cowboys giving up 4.5, and he hit that one, giving him a total of 23 points through week 14. I took Titans over the Jags. Titans giving up 8.5, hit that one. I took Broncos over the Lions. Broncos giving up 10 and hit that one. And then I took Packers over the Bears. The Packers were giving up 12.5. I did not hit that one because I took the Bears. I'm sorry. Packers were giving up 12.5, and I did not hit that one. Packers beat them pretty handily, which puts my score at 22. So Steven's up by 1 after week 14. So now the picks for week 15. Steven is taking the Patriots over the Colts. Colts giving up 1.5. He's also taking the Texans over the Jags, and the Jags are giving up 4.5. And he's taking the Bears over the Vikings. Vikings giving up 6. So I'm going to take Giants against the Cowboys. I think the Cowboys will beat them, but Cowboys are giving up 11.5, and they've not been playing great lately. So I'm going to take the Giants to win the spread on that one. I'm also taking the Titans over the Steelers. Steelers giving up 1.5. And I'm going to take the Rams giving up 6.5 to the Seahawks. I believe that's actually a Tuesday night game. So anyway, that's the picks for week 15 of the NFL season. Steven is up 23-22 right now.
I really like that.
I do too.
I do wish though, and we've said this before, but I wish there's a way to fade that. I could do a smooth fade in, like a fade in, not just a fucking hard cut. But
yeah.
Anyway, so we were talking outside, and we're not gonna do it now.
Nope.
But since our very first season, like you said, episode 9, we did a couple pet peeve episodes, and I think we're gonna bring that back. We're gonna have one episode dedicated entirely to pet peeves, and hopefully people will chime in and share their pet peeves, and we can discuss. Call in.
Yeah.
So what the fuck are you writing down?
Notes.
We just started. How could you have notes?
I had to finish the notes from the last time.
Jesus Christ.
We just started. An hour's worth of shit.
Oh my God. So much.
All right.
So you're trying to get
I tried.
Calling.
Yeah, I tried to get a couple people calling. I haven't heard back from my last text to them. But we'll see.
Yeah.
So God, who's watching?
Who fucking cares at this point? So if we mentioned it earlier, and I'm going to mention it now since we really haven't gotten into it, but we do have a new shop up on the website that you set up. It's a threadless shop, but you can order directly from the site. I think it might, if you hit card, it might take you to the other one. I don't fucking know. But anyway,
yeah. But
it's on the site under merch and shit, and you get t-shirts, hats, underwear, whatever the fuck you want. Really,
that's a lot of different shit on there.
Yeah. Shower curtains. I want people to get shit and tag us in it on Instagram.
If there's something you see that says not available, or like that it's not in the shop or whatever, or if there's a particular thing you want, because there's some things that they offer and they just don't have it put in our shop.
Yeah. If we ever get a live show together, we should get B3F condoms made.
All right. It's fine with me.
Yeah. So I had forgotten about a Norm.
Poke holes in.
Right. Yeah. So I was on YouTube today, as I do at work from time to time, but usually I get in. So I usually start between 7 and 8, but I'll get to work at like 6, right? Because I like having time to make coffee and
chill. It's a whole hour to 2 hours of time.
Well, no. So I like half an hour ish. So when I get to work, I usually will dick around for half an hour or so, 45 minutes, and then I'll clock in, right? Because I don't have a hard start time.
You said you usually start between 7 and 8. Right. But you get to work at 6.
No. I get to work around 6:30 ish. So if I get there at 6:30, then I start at 7. If I get there at 6:30, I start at like 7:38. So somewhere in there, like I space it out. But I get there, I like to make coffee. I like to fucking watch YouTube, all that shit, get things going. It's just that's just what I
prefer that extra sleep.
See, but I used to do the same thing at any other job. Even when I had a hard clock in time, I'd get there half an hour early just so I could get there and have coffee. Because I don't like walking in straight out of the car and start work. Fuck that. I like having a minute to kind of acclimate to the day.
I got you.
So I don't sleep for shit anyway, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, so I was watching some YouTube videos this morning, and like on this some ex-casino boss talking about like cheating and poker hands and shit like that, which was fucking cool as fuck. But that led me somehow to a Norm Macdonald video. There's a YouTube channel called I'm Not Norm.
Right.
I don't know if you know it, but it's all Norm Macdonald clips, different shit like that. And there's one, it's a bit that he did that I completely forgot about that he pulled on Larry King. He did on Conan a few times, but the first one I know of was on Larry King. And when he's asking, it's like, so what is something that no one else knows about you that you can tell us? And Norm goes, well, if I was going to give some information, I don't know if I would tell people that I'm or I wouldn't tell people that I'm a heavily closeted homosexual man.
Oh, I remember
and
this.
He was like, what are you saying? What are you saying to us, Norm? He goes, I'm just saying that I'm a very closeted. He goes, like, so you're saying you're homosexual? No. Do you know what closeted means? He's like, it means you're very and they don't want to know anybody. No, he's always exactly. I'm not gay. And they'd be like, but you're a closet. Yes, I'm a very closeted homosexual man. So you're gay? No, I'm not gay. It's a great bit. It's a great bit.
It is a great bit. And
I'm ruining it, obviously, but
yeah, that's fine. I mean, no one can really redo a bit the way someone else can.
No,
but when Norm died, it was one of those things. It was like, wow, we like, as far as celebrities die, that it happens. Like, people die, and it's just life. But it's one of the things like, wow, like, we really lost someone like in the comedy community that really is a genius.
Who do you feel like is? And I understand it's very different styles, but if you had to rate Norm Macdonald versus Dave Chappelle, who would you put in top tier? Who's one? Who's two?
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
I think I still have to put Dave Chappelle above Norm, because Dave Chappelle he's one of those guys that comes along every 30 to 50 years.
Okay.
I think the one before him was Richard Pryor.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who was before Richard Pryor, but that is funny, seemingly effortlessly. And I know it's not effortless. Right. I know they all work on it, but the social commentary in his stuff is more important, I think.
Okay.
For the time we're in.
So you factor in importance into that.
I do. In with those two, for sure. I do. I think the stuff Dave Chappelle's saying, while very funny, is important.
Okay.
I think that's it.
So but I would have that. I'd have Norm Macdonald on top of that, because
but I also, if you told me I could only watch comedy from one of them the rest of my life, I'm probably picking Chappelle as well.
Yeah. See, my reasoning for that is Chappelle is absolutely brilliant, and he has been Chappelle Show, and I'm sure he was talented before that, but it hasn't been to the last like couple decades that he's really blossomed into what the fuck he is, right?
Sure.
Whereas Norm Macdonald,
I don't think he blossomed. I think he hit mainstream.
Maybe.
Whereas Norm Macdonald never really hit much mainstream outside of Saturday Night Live. He was always niche.
He's so fucking brilliant.
Absolutely.
And what I loved about Norm Macdonald is you could never tell, like, if he was on a bit or not on a bit. Like, you never knew. Ever.
Every breath he took, every pause, every single word was exactly there for a reason.
Yeah, exactly.
And
that's why I said, like, we talked about The View when he came out and apologized, and we talked about that a little bit. I don't think, like, my reading and watching him, based on other, I don't think he was serious. Cause I just thought it was funny. Like, anytime he said something, I'm sorry about that, he pop a mint every fucking time.
I don't think he was truly sorry, but I think we saw a broken Norm.
Yeah.
Pleasing the powers.
You think so?
I think so.
I think he maybe in his own way. Like, I still think he's kind of like my stupid insistence on not calling people sir or ma'am. I think it was kind of the same thing. Like, he was apologizing, but it was for the face value, not because he was really apologizing. Because, like I said,
but I have less respect for apologizing for face value.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless I had been able to talk to him and him show me where it was a bit.
Right.
I succeeded in pleasing the powers that be, but also got my bit in there together. Fine. But if you're just apologizing because someone said apologize,
I think he got his bit in. I do. And I know we differ on that, but my whole thing is, like, if you think that Norm Macdonald had a reason, a purpose for every pause, every breath, every fucking how he stuttered and drawn
when
on
he was performing.
He was always performing though. I don't think.
Well, but it's like you said, you never knew.
never know.
Sometimes
Right.
when he wasn't on stage, you didn't know if he was performing or not. Sometimes,
right.
So,
I think public. I think he is the most Kaufman-esque comedian that we've had since fucking Kaufman, in the sense that he's fully committed. Like he's like a structured Kaufman, right? Like Kaufman was just what the fuck ever. Like you never knew what was real, what was not, and it was all planned. But it was.
Do you think he actually died?
I don't fucking know. I don't care.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying he's Kaufman-esque. There's been speculated for years and years that Kaufman didn't die.
Right.
They faked his death.
I'm
talking about Norm. Do you think Norm? If he's Kaufman-esque, do you think maybe this is a bit?
No, I don't think.
Maybe in a few years, Norm's like, ta-da!
That'd be fucking awesome.
Right.
No, I mean Kaufman-esque in the sense of like you never know if he's off or on. Like you don't know who you're fucking getting.
Sure.
And Kaufman was like that, but he was just all like almost performance art, right? Whereas Norm Macdonald was like all comedy, but it was always like every interview. Like I don't know if I've ever, and again, I'm not a Norm repository of all the shit he's ever done, but I never saw an interview where he was just like 100% like sincere talking, having a conversation. It was always something thrown in. So,
well, his last special, like I had to turn it off at first.
Yeah.
I wasn't in the right mindset or mood for it.
Right.
Or whatever. But going back later, before he died and watching it, was like how brilliant it is. I mean, the one joke that stands out on that, first he's talking about the word being at the airport and being asked for his ID. And it got me thinking. His ID stands for identification. And he said, it's an abbreviation. He said, so I stands for I, and D stands for identification. It seems to me that the D is doing the heavy lifting in that word. And it's like, it's brilliant.
Yeah.
And it's his presentation of it and all the little pauses and things he does. That's so.
And like one joke will take fucking, like that was my favorite things to watch him on like clips of of late shows doing interviews, because he'll take like just days to tell a joke.
Oh yeah.
You know, and he'll interrupt other guests. He'll chime in with shit. Like it's
so amazing. When he died, a lot of people re-released episodes, podcast episodes they'd done with him, and then also Conan released an episode of him, Andy Richter, and then the guy that was always Norm's producer when Norm would be on Conan, and they released an episode of them talking about Norm. It wasn't a re-release; it was just talking about Norm and how Norm would come on and tell a story, and then you get to the end of the story and you're dying laughing, but you realize he just retold with using a different scenario of farmer's daughter story.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stupid shit.
All the time.
And you do it all the time.
Yeah.
And it's just, he was one of a kind.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's the thing. I think Chappelle is more socially important, lack of a better word. And I don't like lack of a better term. I hate the word important for shit, but socially important in the day and age that we live in. He's a voice of
necessary.
Yeah. But whereas Norm wasn't, but he
did have some things that I mean, the OJ Simpson.
Yeah. No, he's fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, it was jokes, but he meant it.
Yeah. But I always like
that's why he lost his job at Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. But I always loved his what a jerk bits. Always.
Oh, yeah.
What a jerk.
What's this
guy's a real jerk.
He had the joke about OJ Simpson where he was talking about the trial was going on, and he said that so and so brought out a hat that was his hat or whatever, and said he was said to have been seen wearing this hat that night or whatever, and said they were doing something with the hat, and OJ said, "Careful, that's my lucky stabbing hat." It's so stupid, but it's so perfect.
Yeah,
it's so perfect.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
God, I went through a Norm rabbit hole when he passed, and now I feel like I got to do it again. But still, it's just.
Did you ever see? I think it was fuck. What's the guy's name? Oh, I can't remember. He was in Half Baked.
Jim Brewer.
Did you ever hear his story
Boy.
about Norm Macdonald? They're doing some charity stand-up show for some city, like whatever, and then they were like, you can't do profanity, you can't do this, can't do whatever. And so the first thing Norm Macdonald comes out and says something like dropped cunts and then called a bunch of people a bunch of queers or some shit like that. Got banned from ever performing in the city again.
I've heard about that.
I think it was Jim Brewer told the story in one of his stand-up things. It's like but to me, that's why I have a hard time believing the apology. And unless he just got more sensitive as he got older to whatever.
That's what I say. I think it was a broken Norm.
Yeah, maybe.
He finally had a show on TV, on Netflix, but on TV that was doing what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Which, if you've never watched Norm Macdonald has a show on Netflix, you're missing out.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. And he has some fucking A-listers on there. Mm-hmm. And he doesn't change for whoever's on there. It's the same thing.
Now, I will say the version that was on, I don't know what site it was on, but before it went to Netflix.
Norm Macdonald Live.
Yeah, it was so much.
It was better.
They got away with so much more shit.
For sure.
Like the chain joke is still one of my most favorite jokes I've ever heard him tell. It's so
I
rough.
love the bit, though, that he would do on the shows where it would be just a stack of jokes. And
that's
him and the guest or whatever would just, you hand out a joke and you had to read the joke or whatever.
Yeah.
And
that's what I'm saying, because like I've to see other comedians get like legitimately offended or upset at some of the jokes and be like, I didn't write it.
Him and Letterman,
well, the one with him and Super Dave was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I
mean, go watch his Letterman's last show. Letterman loved Norm Macdonald,
right?
Loved Norm Macdonald, not just a fan, like to hear Dave talk about it was like, and people talk about it was like it generally. Affection for Norm Macdonald, and you could see it in Norm that was Dave's last show, but he didn't pull any punches, and he didn't get super sentimental about it in his jokes or whatever. And it's you're watching a master but so many of the comedians will tell you Norm was the guy that everybody else wanted to watch.
Yeah,
and
he was a comedian's comedian.
He was, and like. The crowd may not get it, or may not be laughing, but the comedians were rolling. Yeah. And that's the thing.
Yeah. 100%.
It's
Anyway, again, that's not taking anything away from Chappelle. I'm just saying that's
I get it. Yeah. I get it. I just you compartmentalize things more when you start thinking about that kind of stuff. And I take everything into consideration and make a judgment call on that. But it would be hard for me to decide which one I was going to watch the rest of my life if I had to pick one of them. But I feel like I would go with Chappelle because not strictly, but because of the importance of the things he's going to say, and he's going to make me think sometimes about social issues, but because he has the ability, not the capability, but the leeway. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. He has the leeway to go down avenues that Norm would never have the leeway to go down.
True. I think,
for better or for worse, whatever.
Right. And I think my thing with the preference for Norm is because he's not topical. I mean, he did some business Saturday Night Live that were, but his shit is funny no matter what the social environment is. Whereas a lot of times Chappelle stuff is very topical for whatever's going on in the moment or in that time period, especially his last few specials, right?
Sure.
Anyway, and I feel like Chappelle feels a certain obligation, right, in his position to be, as much as he's speaker of truth, but he also has some of that, like, that's what he feels like part of his job is, right? And not just being funny, but to also to be that voice of truth. Like, he takes that seriously in his position, right? Whereas I don't think Norm Macdonald gave a fuck about most of that stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I have an urge to text Hunter.
Oh, yeah?
Just to text him, not his girlfriend. Just to text, not his whatever.
Yeah. Whatever. You do. You do. God, it's already midnight. Jesus Christ.
You wanted to do the second
I do.
one.
I still want to finish this fucking episode.
Do you want to finish it, or do you just want to go like, all right, we'll be back next
45 minutes. It's been a good run. I do have a WikiHow article for this week, which we haven't done one of these in a while.
We haven't. Go for it.
So this particular WikiHow article, if we're going to do some learning tonight, is how to behave after sex. And this is co-authored by WikiHow staff. So it's been approved.
Oh, God.
So sexual intercourse is one of the most intimate experiences two people can share.
Making love.
But it's not always clear on how you should act afterwards. The key to channeling great sex into a great relationship is to be considerate of your partner's feelings and treat them with respect. Let the magic of the moment pass in its own time and find ways to stay close to your partner afterwards, like cuddling, making conversations, or showering together. By showing that you're invested, you stand a chance of strengthening your connection and sparking something lasting and meaningful. Which really, if you peel this back, is after you have sex once, how do you keep having sex? Is what like is the bones of this. But they're not going to say that. How do you maintain a connection after sex? When really, regardless of gender, after you have sex, you kind of want to keep having sex. There are some outliers that don't enjoy having sex, but for the most part, men and women equally kind of want to, keep getting that dicking down.
Yeah.
Or, scissor sister shit. I don't know. Getting butt pregnant, all that stuff. So, number one. So there's 3 parts, and there's a few subsections. I'm going to blast through them, right?
Okay.
But part 1 of 3, staying engaged with your partner immediately after sex. Right? Number 1, let the intimacy of the moment fade gradually. Take a few minutes just to lie there with your partner and bask in the post.
It's hard to engage with your partner after sex when you're jumping up, running around, going, sin, sin, sin.
Right? The act of intercourse may
Where's
be
the
over.
fucking towel?
There's so much blood. The act of intercourse may be over, but the blissful feeling of warmth and connectedness doesn't have to be. All too often, people have to get up or find something else to focus on their attention as soon as sex is ended, depriving of themselves the small amounts of pleasure that has come once the immediate thrill is over. Come. So just like you use foreplay to ramp up the excitement and anticipation before sex, you should build in some ways to slowly and gently come back to earth afterwards.
Shouldn't foreplay actually be called before play?
Before play, I like it.
I think so.
Yeah.
Before play.
Yeah. So number 1, let the intimacy of the moment fade gradually. Number 2, cuddle your partner. Rather than rolling over to claim your half of the bed, hold your partner close, cradle them in your arms, and gently nuzzle their neck and stroke their hair. Chances are you'll drift off into a peaceful slumber together after a while. Fuck that. I'm sweaty as shit.
Glued together.
Right.
You wake up in the morning too.
Right. No, like I'm all about if you want to stay close and hang out, but I'm hot as fuck after shit's done. Like we can hold hands in the middle of the bed. I'll give a fuck.
I kind of get cold afterwards. Like I get a chill. It's like all the warmth just rushes out of
your
me.
fucking sack.
I guess so.
Yeah, like I need a minute, like because I'm fat and old too. So like I have to catch my breath and shit. Like after things are done, like I need a fucking minute. Yeah. Like we can lay beside each other and talk, hold hands, whatever. But I'm gonna need a second before we get all close again. And cuddle your partner rather than rolling over to claim your half of the bed. Hold your partner. It's like if you're still feeling energetic, you can watch a little TV, listen to music, or talk and joke while you're snuggled up. Physical affection is extremely important after sex. Without it, your partner may get the wrong idea and think you were just in it for your own pleasure. Yeah. Number 3, enjoy the silence. There's no rule that says you have to talk after sex. Forget about coming up with the perfect one-liner and instead just listen to the sound of your partner's breath and feel their heartbeat. Try to take in as much of the experience as you can.
Listening to someone's breath is fucking annoying.
Yeah. Yeah. And if she's listening to my heartbeat, all she's hearing is this. Right. And this. Hold on. Okay. Like I breathe harder and my heart beats more after I'm done than during. Like I almost die. Every time I come, I'm almost dead for like 5 minutes.
You know, with every pulse and every spurt is like a heart murmur.
Every time. Like as soon as I finish, I'm near death for a good 3 to 5 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. And then number 4, let the conversation unfold naturally. Number 5, take a bath or shower together.
All right.
I'm on board with the shower together after. Sure. That's a good thing. More naked. And bathing with someone for the first time can be a little awkward. Keep the mood fun by teasing them with some lighthearted splashing or offering to scrub their back for them.
What? The lighthearted splashing is the part that who gets it's like you're 13 in a swimming pool and you're flirting with someone. Yeah. I piss on their feet.
Well, you gotta mark your territory.
Well, yeah. You ever piss in the shower with your wife without telling her, what, or just like slyly do it? Just to see,
we're pretty open about it.
No. But I'm saying just to see if she's gonna be like, "Did you pee?" Just to see if she smells piss in there. Because I would venture to say that your piss stinks.
Like ham trash.
Yeah. See, and since I've been a little healthier, it's not. I'm pretty good now.
No, what you got to do is you got to cuddle close in the shower, and then you kiss slowly down their back, and you just spit in their butthole. It's like putting a period at the end of a sentence.
I like to blow it like a balloon.
Right.
Like, just see if I can blow it up. Right.
Yeah. All right. Part 2 of 3. Avoiding hurt feelings. Number 1, try to stay awake.
We both are ready to go to sleep
It's
afterwards.
perfectly natural to get a little sleepy right after you finish doing the deed, but nodding off after a passionate lovemaking session could be misinterpreted as rude. Do your best to stay present and engaged. It may help to sit up or have a thought-provoking conversation if you're especially drained. If I'm drained, there's no thought-provoking conversation.
What?
I just came out my thoughts.
Who's in the mood to have a thought-provoking conversation after sex?
Yeah.
Most people just want to chill.
Yeah. And then the next point is make it a goal to outlast your partner. Once they fall asleep, you can take it as an all clear to begin snoozing yourself. Aren't they then violating the rule that this is fucking talking about?
Yes. Now I have the right to be pissed.
Yeah. You're asleep first. Number 2, put down your phone. Make sure the other person knows they have your undivided attention until the lull of the moment has passed. The last thing your partner wants after being intimate is to look over and find you with your eyes glued to a screen.
Maybe you're rewatching highlights.
Right, exactly.
Right. Maybe you're making sure the video saves.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. It's also a good idea to silence or turn off your phone before sex to keep from being interrupted.
All right.
The next part of that is take your time getting dressed. Reach for your underwear if you're feeling exposed. Leave the rest of your clothes where they are. If
you're feeling exposed after sex,
right,
you have a problem.
Yeah. There's no harm in changing a pair of pajamas or sweats to get cozy, but covering up in a hurry may send the message that you feel distant or ashamed.
I will say this. Sometimes after sex, the dick looks quite small because he's tuckered out.
Yeah, 100%.
So I understand a little bit of, maybe you pull the covers up a little because, I want you to think less of what just rocked your world.
I don't want to put a visual behind. Is it in yet?
You know what? I need to, and not preface because I've already said it. I just want to say, all these things I'm saying, they're just jokes. I'm terrible at sex.
Of course.
Just in case my wife listens, she goes back and goes, "Oh, really? Yeah. Oh, really? Whose world are you rocking?"
Next part, consider staying the night. See, that's an immediate no-no if you're just hooking up. But I guess if you want to stay casual, but
if it's both an understanding of this is just a hookup, and you roll over and you both go to sleep. Not if you lay there and you're snuggling up to all night, that sends the wrong signal. Yeah. But whatever.
But that's why, like, if you're the host and it's a one-off thing, it is then your job to shuffle them out the goddamn door.
Yeah.
You don't let yourself fall asleep.
Hey, you mean to get you an Uber?
Yeah,
we call you a cab?
Yeah, exactly.
Bus fare?
Be a gentleman about it. But kick them the fuck out.
Yeah. Here's some money for a tip.
Because the general rule of thumb is if they stay the night, there's at least a short-term relationship happening from that point on. Yeah.
Then you gotta do we do breakfast together?
Yeah. If it's not practical for you to stay, find a tactful way to break the news and make it seem like you're not looking for an escape. Tell your partner you have to be at work early in the morning. In other words, fucking lie. Yeah. Fucking lie. It's not always safe to assume that your partner wants you to hang around when you're at their place. Try to pick up signals that
I feel like that should be mentioned, talked about, whatever beforehand.
Oh yeah.
Like this should be.
But I think a lot of people, especially younger people, they don't. They just whatever.
I also think for a lot of younger people, the whole stay the night, get up and leave in the morning thing is no big deal to them, though.
Yeah.
I think hookup culture has changed.
Yeah, but I also don't think hookup culture is quite as prevalent as it is made out to be.
Maybe not. I don't know.
People are weird about that shit. But anyway, so part 3 of 3, being considerate the morning after. Number 1, follow up with a call or text.
Get in touch with Plan B pill.
Right? Yeah, absolutely. Get in touch with your partner the next day. Let them know that you enjoyed their company. And many people make the mistake of intentionally putting off communicating with the other person because they're afraid it will make them look needy. This just sows the seeds of doubt. A quick exchange will show them that they've been on your mind. What if you don't want to talk to them again?
Right.
What if they made fun of your little peen?
They were on your dick. Done? Do they really have to be on your mind as well?
Yeah, exactly.
Chances are they were both. But imagine waking up in the morning. It was a hookup. It was understood, but they stayed the night.
Yeah.
It was understood. And the first thing in the morning, they're just like, "Hey, can you run me over to the drugstore? I need to make sure I get a Plan B pill just in case or whatever.
Yeah.
Just imagine, but also, all right, imagine the female waking up. You're not in bed, so they think maybe, oh, he's making breakfast or he's in the bathroom, whatever. And then you walk in with a Plan B pill and a glass of water.
Yeah. But I've also
I'm going to need you to take this or you're not leaving.
My other thing is like, to me, at this point in life, that's part of telling your kids, like, fucking take her to buy a Plan B. If shit didn't work out, take her to buy a fucking Plan B.
Sure.
You know, and you pay for that shit.
Use condoms and get Plan B. If the condom breaks or something, you get
you pay for the Plan B because it's a hell of a lot cheaper than child support for 18 goddamn years.
Yeah.
Anyway, 2, remain friendly and warm in public. Say hi to your partner when you see them at school or your office, run into them. Like, no, don't feel like you have to go incognito in order to play it cool to keep other people from finding out. It's more likely that your partner will just think you're dodging them unless you are dodging them. Make an effort to spend time together outside of the bedroom and be upfront about what you want. Communication is vital.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now you've learned how to act after sex.
Good. I've forgotten.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
It's been so long. I don't know. Like, it's funny to me. The reason I like those WikiHow articles so much is because they only exist because there's people that legitimately ask these questions. And some of them I feel like are just fucking common sense.
Do you think people legitimately ask that question and the people at WikiHow are going, we got to answer this? Or do you think they're going, hey, what can we put out?
No, because a lot of these people write the instructions and then they submit and get verified by them. So maybe it's something that some people just think that other people want to know. But I've seen some, like, people are fucking stupid. Like, I shouldn't even say stupid, lack of common sense. Like, they overthink shit or underthink shit or whatever the case may be. Because if you think about all the selfish fucking dickholes that we're breeding in the world, tell me half of them don't know how to act towards another human being in their day-to-day lives, period.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you think some of it's self-explanatory and you can figure it out as you go, but then you meet people and you're like, how have you never figured this shit out? But do you ever get, like, even with your kids as they've gotten older and they're all grown now, but like even when they're younger, that they'd get to a point and they'd ask a question, you'd be like, how the fuck do you not know this?
Yeah.
Like, it blows my mind sometimes. Like, cause like both Eli and Lyric, super fucking book smart, but sometimes I'll ask a question, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And you know, Jude too, but again, Jude tends to me, he's more of like the, like, of a better word, street smart. Like, he can figure shit out. He's not book. He couldn't, like, if he likes it, he'll learn about it. Otherwise, but he can figure shit out, but he's not book smart. He's street smart kid, but Lyric and Eli, both very book smart, no goddamn common sense, what the fuck soever.
Interesting.
But like, and this is one of those things. So a few weeks ago when I was in North Carolina, of course, Lyric's growing like fucking crazy. And she was like, Dad, I think I need new shoes. My shoes are getting tight. And she's gone through like 3 shoe sizes in the last year, you know, whatever.
Sure.
And I was like, all right, well, next time I'm there, you know, we'll take you to get shoes. And you put her foot down, I felt the toe, and she still has, like, because I got her a little bit bigger last time, and she still had like a good bit to go. And I was like, sweetie, I don't think these shoes are too small for you. She goes, well, Dad, they're too tight. I was like, did you loosen the laces? She said, what? And I fucking loosened her fucking lace up. I was like, I put those on. She was like, oh, they fit really good now. I'm like, how the fuck did you not think to loosen your laces? What the fuck is wrong? You're 13 goddamn years old, and you didn't think to loosen your fucking shoes?
Oh, God.
So they're too small because you can't just slip your fucking foot into them.
Right.
That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. Or, like, okay, Eli, when he was like, because I met him when he was 9 or 10. So he'd been like 12. And he was drinking some shit. He was, and I was like, why are you slurping? And he was like, I've got to get the stuff out. I was like, pour it into your fucking mouth.
Right.
Like, open your mouth, pull it, just pour the cup in. I was like, gravity does the work. He was like, what? So yeah, you just open your mouth and pour in the drink. You don't have to suck the liquid out of the cup.
Right.
Whoa. Like, it blew his fucking mind. I'm like, how do you not know how to drink out of a fucking cup?
Yeah, but you know, that's what dads are for, though.
Oh, it is.
That's what it, and
No,
I
get
he's
that.
with a single mom, and I understand that. It's not that a woman doesn't know that, but
Well, I think it was just at the age that he was at, like, it was, you know, when you're a kid. But
it is, but I'm just saying, like, that's what dads are for that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, moms are definitely have their own things that a dad just can't provide.
Right.
Like, but that kind of those kinds of things are the kind of shit that dads are there for.
Yeah. But I don't, regardless of that, there's every now and then they'll do something. I'm like, how the fuck? Like, and maybe that's part of me learning or them learning as parent teaching, but some of the shit, like, I don't remember learning. I just remember fucking doing or figuring out. But like at some point, I'm like, Jesus Christ. Especially, how do you not think to loosen your fucking laces? Like, that's the stupidest shit. And I'm like, now you're gonna grow up to be nothing. Like this is just insane.
Oh my God.
It's like, using gravity to pour liquid into your fucking mouth is like complicated. I don't understand.
Yeah.
But even now, then every now and then, like he'll ask me a question. I'm like, fucking Google it, dude. Like, I don't understand. Like, you have the entirety of man's knowledge,
more computing power in your hand than the first spaceship.
Yeah. And even that, like anything you could want to know, almost anything you can find on the internet.
Yeah.
And you're asking me like what the fucking time zone difference is between here and somebody else. What the fuck is wrong with you? Google.
Why do you have a problem with
that?
I think I kind of like it when kids ask some questions without just Googling it.
Really? See,
because why ever ask you anything?
Because you can't find the range.
But you can find the answer to anything on the internet. So why ask?
If you know where and how to look, yeah.
I think you could stumble upon it though.
Maybe, but there's a lot of bad info out there too. Because I want kids to be fucking goddamn sufficient. Like,
yeah, I understand that, but I'm just saying that
it's whatever.
I'm just saying, I don't know.
Yeah. If it's a learning thing, like, hey, how do I do this? Yeah, let me help you. That's fine. But if it's what is this? Look at the fuck up.
Like what?
Like, again, so what's the time difference between here and California? Look it up. You don't have to ask me that shit. That's stupid. How do I change an alternator in a car? Fucking let's do this shit together. Like, we'll Google it. We'll fucking pull up YouTube video. Because there's a learning thing, but there's knowledge and there's like learning how to do shit, right? Both are available on the internet. But if it's just an informational thing, it'll take you 2 fucking seconds to look it up. If it's learning how to do something, I might have a better way to do it. So yeah, let's talk about it. But I would still rather you try first and then ask me.
I understand. In most cases, I would rather my kids not try to change an alternator themselves before asking me or trying to find it. But I don't know. My thing is like, if it, I guess, Google it, you can find anything if you Google it.
Right.
So why ask anything? I still go back to that. You could find out how to change an alternator without coming to you.
Yeah.
You could find out anything without coming to you.
Yeah.
So why ask anything?
After a certain age, I would say, why ask anything? Figure it the fuck out. It's self-sufficiency.
I think that's part of
like my job
family
when they're kids is but my goal is to teach them how to figure shit out so they don't fucking have to ask me. Because one day they may not be able to, and they've got to figure it the fuck out. They've got to learn to be self-sufficient.
Do you think that they don't know that they can Google that?
No, I don't think.
I don't think
it crosses their mind that they can.
But if you weren't there for him to ask, and he wanted to know the answer to that, he would have Googled it.
I don't know if
eventually he would have. No, immediately he may not.
Eventually, maybe.
I think he would have pretty close to immediately though.
No. 100%.
I just think he would.
Because I can tell you right now, most younger kids now look at phones, internet as entertainment, not utilitarian. We come from a utilitarian standpoint.
I understand that.
I will look for first. That is not half the time. I've seen my kids search like how.
I mean, maybe my kids fall somewhere in between because my kids will Google some shit like that.
Well, your kids are a little older too.
Yeah,
yeah. But like my kids, like I've looked at how they Google shit, and it's like, this is the dumb. You'll never find anything typing shit in like this. It'll be like, if it is Central Time here in Tennessee and I live in Knoxville, what would the time be in San Francisco? It's in California time, but it's not quite down in Los Angeles. I'm exaggerating, but that's the type of shit that you type into Google. Like, you're not going to fucking find anything. Time difference between California and Tennessee. Done. And I've seen all of them do it. Like, they ask a question, like they're rambling some shit to you, like, because you can sort through the bullshit, right? Like, you know your kids, and if they're asking a question, you can take this and help them to get it concise. But if they don't know how to be concise and they're trying to Google shit, they're never going to find the fucking answers for anything eventually.
So then they should ask you.
And then I can tell them, Google it.
Yes, but you've not solve
I
their
will
problem.
give them the information. I will say, Google this.
Okay, you didn't say that, so I didn't know that.
Yeah, no, I'll tell them.
I thought
how
your
to Google
response was Google that shit.
No.
Okay.
Well, I have given the answer of like, try to figure it out first, and if you can't, ask me.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I mean, I believe that's building self-sufficiency. Like, I want you to figure it out on your own more than I want to help you if you need the help. But like, you have to learn to help yourself first and foremost. Like, that's part of being a fucking adult.
Yeah, but
human being.
asking questions is helping yourself.
Asking questions is, but trying to figure it out on your own first. And
why is asking a question not trying to figure it out? Because asking Google is not figuring it out on your own.
You do
It's
get to
getting
walk
the
through it
answer
and
on your
figure it
own.
out.
You're just asking a computer, not a person.
Or book. I mean, but I'm saying, but when you have to, if you can just flippantly ask me any fucking thing you want and I can just spit information back out you, you're probably not, you're not engaging the same way as you would if you're putting forth the effort to learn it yourself.
Sure, but that's what Google's doing. If you flippantly ask whatever to Google and then get whatever.
No, there's a whole process in looking something up from Google or from the internet for anything else for that matter, right? If I'm asking you, I can sort through however the fuck you're asking the question, right, to figure out what you're wanting to ask me.
Sure, but I feel like you asking a parent, you can get the same thing. I feel like you can kill two birds with one stone in this, where if they ask you something, you could say, you could offer the information up of, well, we're Eastern time. We're the farthest to the east that you can go time zone wise.
Right.
So then it goes to Central time, then it goes to Mountain time, and then it goes to Pacific time. And
Right.
it's 1 hour as you go across the country behind.
Right.
And California would then be 3 time zones behind. So then that would be, and then let them say 3 hours, or I don't fucking know,
right,
or whatever. But I'm just saying, I feel like it can be the same thing with them asking, is what I'm saying.
It could. My whole thought is though, like, again, it changes as they get older, right?
Sure.
Like when they're younger, it's a little more hand holding and help them walking through it. But at a certain age, it's like, what have you done to try? Just asking me because I may know the answer is not trying to learn it.
Sure. I understand asking them, what have you done to figure it out?
And that's what I mean. Like, have you not just, I'm talking, hyperbolically by saying just fucking Google it, but it's other words like, have you tried to figure this out before you came to me? Like, I will help you get the information, but you better fucking try to get it yourself first.
Okay.
I mean, because I don't want my kids calling me when they're fucking 40 years old and I'm 80, asking me how to fucking find some shit.
Sure, but the hope would be that the way you give them the information when they ask you a question, that they would have those same thought patterns now in them to think the way you provide the information, like saying, well, we're Eastern time, we're the farthest Eastern time zone in the country, and blah, 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 that they would then start to think in those ways.
But I don't want to teach them how to think. They need to figure out their own way of fucking thinking. They just need to learn to be self-sufficient in that thinking.
I understand that, but that is teaching a form of self-sufficiency.
That's teaching them about time zones.
No, I understand that, but there's the little minuscule things that it's not so much teaching them how to think, it's teaching them the way to approach figuring out information. It's a way to teach them that by answering the question. I would
rather teach them how to find the information than to figure out the information.
What's the difference? Because you said just go figure it out. Like,
right. In other words, figure out how to find it.
Okay.
Like, do the work to learn it. I will help you if you need it, but you're going to do the work. I'm not going to just give it to you.
I understand doing the work part of it.
Asking me just directly before you've done anything else is not doing the work.
I understand that. It's no different than asking Google.
It is.
Why? Because they're not asking you?
No, because with Google, with any other search engine, whatever, you have to critically put the words together. And granted, it's a little forgiving, but it's
very forgiving.
It depends on what you're looking for.
I've seen people Google some crazy ass shit and get the answer.
Yeah. But again, it's working with them to learn how to do it, right? Like, if you're like, well, I can't find it. Well, what did you Google?
So what happens if the network goes down?
Books, library.
Yeah, but showing them how to search something on Google doesn't cover that.
Well, then I could show them how to. What I'm saying is the ball stays in their court. I will give them the information if they've exhausted their efforts. And if like, well, I looked on here and I couldn't find it. Okay, well, how did you look? Like, what did you search? Well, I searched this. Okay, well, fucking try searching this and then let me know. You know, that type of shit. Oh, well, the internet's not down. Okay, well, let's fucking go to the library and look it up. Like, how do I look it up? This is how the dude does. Like, teach them the ways to find the information, not give them the fucking information.
I understand that, but you can teach them on a lot of things. You can teach them and give them information.
Yeah, I'm not arguing that.
Okay.
But I'm saying I would rather them be I would rather them never have to ask me a question. Not because I don't want to give them answers, but because I want them to be able to find that shit out for themselves. They shouldn't have to rely on me for life instruction as far as figuring out information. Like that should, like, if you want to learn how to fucking replace an engine in a car, fucking go figure it out, learn about it, read it, fucking study. Don't ask everybody. I mean, asking can be helpful in the information, but it's more of, how did you do this? I'll tell you how I did it, but how do you do it? Well, there's 1,000 how-tos out there. Fucking learn. You're going to learn better. You're going to know it better if you learn it yourself.
Yeah, but using that example specifically, asking someone that's done it, not asking them to do it for you, but asking them, saying to someone, I have to change my engine in the car.
Mm-hmm.
I know you've done this before. How would you approach this?
That's different.
It's not, though.
Yeah, then just come and be like, hey, how do I change the oil in the car?
It's not. It's semantics in the words.
No, because one is asking somebody's approach. Like, how do you specifically do this? Right?
The
like,
answer's the same, though.
Not necessarily. There's different approaches.
No, I understand that, but no matter how you ask that person,
mm-hmm.
the answer will be the same.
The end result will be the same.
The answer will be the same from that person. If I say to you, how would you approach this? You're going to tell me how you would do that.
Your approach, right.
And if I say to you, how do you do this? You're going to tell me how you would do that.
Right.
You're going to tell me the same thing.
Yeah.
It's all in my question.
Yeah.
It is semantics.
And again, so going back to that, like specifically, that's a physical thing to learn, right? Like you can Google how to change oil, but if I know how to do it, I can help you change the oil because you're going to learn it better by doing. But I'm talking about strictly gathering information, right? Like how do you figure out X, Y, and Z? You can fucking learn. You need to learn how to find information. Just asking me is not the way, because I might die tomorrow. If I die tomorrow, who the fuck are you going to ask? I mean, you have to learn how to gather your own information, how to learn things on your own. It's self-sufficiency.
I understand that.
Your reliance as my kid cannot be on me as your sole provider of information.
No, I understand that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying I think you can do both.
Yeah, I mean, there's times and a place for both. But what I'm saying is, until I have, again, as they get older, less patience if they haven't tried to find the answer on their own before coming to me. Especially if it's something basic.
Okay.
Again, if they have no way to find the information, sure. But part of the thing with Google is having, because what I've found out with younger kids is the thought isn't in their mind ever to try to look it up. It's never there to try to find it out on their own. Because that's not what
that's not the way my kids work.
Because that's not what the internet's for. The internet's for fucking videos and games. It's nothing to do with information.
I don't experience that. That's just not how my kids work. They will look shit up before they ever ask.
And that's how it should be. So if you know that if they've asking you, they've tried to figure it out.
Yeah, I don't think it should or shouldn't be one way or the other. I'm just saying I think it can be the way you're saying while they ask you.
It can be. But what I usually will do is like, have you looked it up? And then I will walk them through finding the information as opposed to giving them the information.
Okay.
Right? Because then they get both. They get the information, but they also learn how to find it for themselves the next fucking time they need the information.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not one or the other. I feel like the ability to get your own information is more important than the ability to somebody to give it, just ask somebody. And that can be part of gathering the information. Don't get me wrong. But learning to accomplish that without reliance on other people is like one of the most important things you can have as an adult, right? Like if I'm on my own and my fucking tire blows and I got to figure out how to fucking change a tire and I've never done it, like I got to fucking be able to figure it out. And part of that information is either to be able to Google it or to be able to fucking critically think and look at it and figure out. But if I'm just relying on somebody just to give me information, I never have to fucking critically think about anything. And that's my point. It's teaching them how to be resourceful.
Sure.
Yeah.
I just, as someone that will look at something, let's just stick with the car.
Mhm.
I am someone that will look at something and go, well, I think if I disassemble this, I can reassemble it
Mhm.
with the new part.
Right.
Or whatever, and figure it out on my own. But I also am that way to a fault sometimes, where I should be asking someone,
Right.
hey, I gotta blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Do whatever.
Yep.
How do I need to do this?
Right.
Or whatever. So,
Yeah.
I don't.
Well, like I've had example, I had an old truck and the alternator completely fucking died. Car died on the side of the road, pulled over the side of the road. And because it just worked on cars a little bit, I was like, I'm pretty sure it's like starter alternate battery. I'm not sure. So I just called my dad because I didn't have anything. I was like, hey, how do you know if it's an alternator? Or how do you know what
Right.
this is what happened? He goes, it sounds like the alternator. I was like, okay, cool. That was it. I walked like a mile, went to the thing, bought an alternator. The thing I bought a Hayes manual, when things got the information, walked back through, fucking changed the shit out, and it was fucking fine. But I felt self-sufficient of like, I never changed a fucking alternator at that point in time.
Sure.
But I knew how to get the information. I knew how to use the information. And I knew at least base level, if I didn't know anything, I could have called my dad and he would have probably helped me out, but he probably would be like, hey, they have a Hayes manual or whatever at the AutoZone store. He's like, or at the auto stop. Why don't you go ahead and fucking pick one of those up and it'll tell you how to do it. Like he would point me to the information on how to do shit,
Sure.
And he would answer questions along the way. But if I was just like, would you come get me? I don't know what to do. He'd be like, let's walk through this a little bit. Let's figure it out. To me, it's just being resourceful. Like I want my kids to be able to figure shit out for themselves. And not need me to answer questions for them. I don't mind answering, but I want to try to get them in a position where they're figuring shit out as much as they can.
Sure. I understand. I mean, the first time Matthew had a flat tire, I stood over the top of him and said, all right, this is what you do next.
Right.
This is what you do next.
Yeah.
And whatever. But I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway,
I have one more question.
Okay.
And I hope it doesn't last long. And that doesn't pertain to this. It's actually going back to work travel.
Okay.
It popped in my head earlier and I didn't have a good point and it just popped back in my head again.
False.
When you travel for work, how often do you jerk off?
As much as I jerk off when I'm home, like at least once a day.
Okay. You're a once a day jerk off.
At a minimum.
Really?
Yeah. I jerk off all the time.
Huh. I'm about every other to every third day. Yeah.
And I'm not saying
I'm every 48 to 72 hours.
Okay.
That's for me. Okay. That's where
it can ebb and flow a little bit. For the most part, it's a steady.
I'm pretty consistent.
At least once a day for me.
I'm pretty consistent. Every 48 to 72 hours.
Because every now and then you miss a day. Something's going on, tired, don't feel good, whatever. But yeah, generally every day.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I do more when I travel for work because what are you gonna do?
What else are you gonna do?
Right.
I jerk off all the time.
Yeah. Okay.
It doesn't change.
Now, if you let the person you're traveling with jerk you off so that you don't have, so it's different, you don't have to do it, does that make you gay?
No.
Okay.
Because you're traveling.
Now, if you
have a suitcase in your hand, it's
what
never
if you
gay.
jerk them off so that they're not having to do it? Does that make you gay?
Yeah.
Now, what if you aim it at your face when they're done?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I say, is there a suitcase in the vicinity?
Yeah.
Not gay.
Do you? I knew this was going to bring something else.
That's why I always take a suitcase with the truck stops.
Yeah. I knew this was going to bring something else up. Do you unpack your suitcase when you travel for work?
Depends on how long I'm there.
How long do you have to be to unpack a suitcase?
A week.
If you're a week, you unpack.
Yeah.
See, I'm always a week, Monday through Friday anyway.
Yeah.
And
by
never
unpack, I don't mean like full drawers, whatever. I'm saying I will at least get everything out. They usually have the little table stand, whatever, because I don't like digging through shit. So
I get.
Well, the reason I do, and I can tell you exactly why. Do you use the dirty clothes bags that's hanging out, or you just put everything back in the suitcase together? Do you have a bag or anything you put your dirty clothes in?
A lot of times I will, yes.
Okay. See, if I don't, what I'll do is I'll take the clean clothes and I'll stick them all in one drawer or whatever. And then as I wear shit, I'll throw it back in the suitcase.
No, I don't. I throw it on. First off, I always make sure I get 2 beds in the hotel I stay in, 2 queen size beds. I lay my suitcase on one. That's also the bed that I jerk off in.
Okay.
But I lay my suitcase on one open when I get there. At night, I pull out whatever I'm wearing the next day and hang it. And if a shirt needs to be ironed or whatever, then I'll iron it and hang it or whatever. When I get back to the hotel the next day, I do. If my shirt's wrinkled and I need to iron it, I iron it. But
do you hang that shit in the shower, turn it on hot, let it steam out, and it's fucking fine.
Fuck that. If when I get back to the hotel that night, and I know it's the first time I've done that in 2 episodes.
Yeah.
Once I take those,
it's way louder. That's weird.
It's as loud as it was earlier when you hit it.
Yeah, whatever.
If when I take my dirty clothes off in a pile on the floor, next to the bed, and then toward the end of the week, last night of the week or whatever, I'll take that bag, shove it in there. But my suitcase also has 2 sides that one. I fucking did it again.
So does mine.
Where you zip it. So sometimes I will put dirty on one side, zip that shut, and put the clean on the other. Or whatever. So
yeah, see, mine come out, and like I said, by unpacking, I don't mean like I fully like fill drawers up and stuff. I shit the hang, I'll hang it. Otherwise, put it aside because I usually put things in a bag, right? Like dirty clothes and stuff that go back in there. That way, if there's clothes I don't wear, I can put back in. I know what's clean and what's dirty, and it stays separated. But
yeah, I mean, I keep the.
But if it's a couple days, yeah, it's just going in and out. But like, yeah, if I'm gone for a week,
yeah, like when I go this week, I will not unpack my suitcase.
So like, I don't know. I
will open my suitcase.
When I think unpacking, I think of like putting shit in drawers.
No. I don't take shit out of my suitcase until I'm hanging it up because I'm wearing it the next day.
Yeah. See, it's funny. So you have this. I have the same thing in divider, but one side for me is clothes. The other side is like my Roku, my toiletry bag, like shit like that. Like
I don't take my Roku with me.
Fuck yeah, I do.
I don't. I do have a Fire Stick I could take with me, but I don't. I just because I have an iPad or a laptop that I can just watch whatever sitting in the bed.
See, fuck that. I'd rather have it on the TV if it's a big enough TV. Because I can put the Roku in or Fire Stick, throw in fucking Bluetooth fucking headphones, and I can listen to shit as loud as I fucking want, and I don't have to fucking.
Same with my iPad,
dude. I don't like having to hold the fucking screen.
I don't have to. Look,
you're sitting. I want to lay in bed.
I am laying in bed.
No, right now you're not.
No. I'm saying when I use the iPad to watch something, I lay in bed.
You set it on your lap?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, fuck that.
Why?
Because it gets hot and shit. I'd rather lay back and be
an iPad does not get hot sitting like this on your lap.
It's uncomfortable. I get hot. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying the iPad gets hot. I get hot. I don't like having shit on me. Plus, the TV screen's way bigger. Why would you want to watch this if you could watch a larger screen?
Because taking the Fire Stick's one more thing I got to take, and one more thing I got to make sure I remember to bring back.
Okay.
That's it. It's just as easy with this or a thing. Yeah. But I also don't watch a ton of TV.
Yeah, but honestly, though, because I hate hotel TV, right? And I hate watching movies on laptops and iPads. I hate it so much, and phones. Yeah, I hate it.
It's not bad. Most of the hotels I've traveled to lately, the Wi-Fi in there sucks so much that it'd be hard to stream something anyway.
But people are like, oh yeah, I just watch movies on my iPad all the time. I'm like, no, fuck.
But it's not a bad idea. I may take because I'm traveling along this way.
If it's a small fucking Fire Stick, super easy because it plugs in.
Yeah. I may take it with me this week.
So, and I got a free pair when I was traveling so much before with the hotel points. I got some of the free, not the fucking Bose Quiet Comfort because those suck, but the whatever they're like $400 fucking headphones. I got them for free. They're the best fucking headphones I've ever had.
So yeah, I can't connect to my Fire Stick through Bluetooth.
Why?
It doesn't have the capability.
How old's a Fire Stick?
A couple years, 2-3 years. It doesn't though. It doesn't.
I don't believe you.
I don't care. Anyway, we were going to do Who's That Racist. No one was interested in playing, and we talked about other shit.
Yeah.
So I've got them for next time.
All right.
So that's good for this week. I think we've given you guys enough free stuff.
Yep.
Still waiting on that butthole.
No butthole pictures.
Or dick pic for the free spread neck shirt.
Yeah. So you happy with 2 episodes in a row tonight?
I'm neither happy nor unhappy. I'm neither nor.
I'm just tired.
I know you are.
I'll go home.
I'm trying to, but you started talking again.
No.
We were ending. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook at B3F Podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch at B3F Podcast. And on Instagram at B3F_podcast. YouTube has all of our videos. Support us on Patreon or buy me a coffee at B3F Podcast. Send all your questions or comments to admin at b3fpodcast.com. Find us online at b3fpodcast.com. Rate us and review us wherever you listen. And as always, thanks for listening.